so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
Kia of CherryHill.com is the destination for the hottest brand in automotive today. Come pick out the gas-sipping Kia of your dreams. With payments anyone can afford. They have over 100 brand new Kias with MSRPs under $30,000 and over 400 new Kias to choose from, all of which come with the best powertrain warranty in the automotive business. 10 years, 100,000 miles. Go to KiaofCherryHill.com today and lock in your savings. Kia of CherryHill.com.
Ready to grow your savings and plant the seeds for a stronger financial future? With a growth savings account from First Harvest Credit Union, you can earn up to 3.05 annual percentage yield and enjoy flexible access to your funds. Or explore our competitive certificate and IRA specials to cultivate even more growth. Visit firstharvestcu.com/growth savings or stop by your nearest branch to get started. First Harvest Credit Union, empowering members to do more for 85 years. Membership restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Welcome in, everyone. Thanks so much for being part of it Monday through Friday. Usually I tease up the nugget, but I can't wait to do that. I'll give you the nugget right now. You know the battle over SNAP, over food stamps, how this goes on over the ages. It's been particularly intense. I don't know if I should call out Brooke Rollins on this. Henry, get on that special bat line we have inside the White House. How would you answer this question? Can you buy lobster? Even more important, can you buy caviar if you're on food stamps? The answer is yes. A listener sent it to me on Twitter today. It's a 1-ounce caviar, which is sickening anyhow. I only had it once. Well, I would say it's tepid. Have you ever had caviar, Henry? Whereas octopus, I enjoyed. Now, it was at a wine tasting, and this was the 4th round of different wines out in Delaware County, so maybe that had something to do with it. But I would say that, octopus pretty good. Caviar, not so much.
No, caviar's great. It's like the rich man's anchovy. You want that little salt, that brine. Yeah,
Ugh.
I think that's the bite to have.
I don't even, the anchovy. You're defending the anchovy.
Oh, I'm not
now.
defending the anchovy.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
anchovy, kind of a peasant, kind of salty, where it's like the caviar, It's like, oh, it's an elevated taste, elevated
All right.
salty.
So on the can that the woman sent me, on the picture of the can, and Amazon's involved in this. Amazon shipping all this stuff, making money off this. It says now EBT, meaning food stamp eligible. They advertise it. It's an inducement. I knew about lobster before, kind of. And I was a guy, I'm backtracking on this now. Remember when RFK Jr. said, if you're on food stamps, you shouldn't be able to get soda and chips and stuff like that. And I try to split the baby and say that, yeah, to some degree, I don't want to be limiting it that much. Now, yeah, I've had it. The fraud, the waste, the abuse. If you're on food stamps, you're going to have to buy it yourself. But caviar. So when she sent it to me this morning on Twitter, I'm thinking, do I have time to really run this down? It didn't take me long to run it down just to make sure that, yes, it's legit. So, you know, the Trump administration is doing a good job shutting these holes. Shouldn't this be a matter of a couple of minutes? In other words, by executive order, by the order of the Secretary of Agriculture, is Congress going to fight him or Democrats going to fight him on this? Guess what? I think some crazy Democrat will fight and say, why can't they have caviar? Why can't they have an ounce of caviar? Or a lobster? I like lobster, but I'm not overwhelmed by it either. It's not worth the price. But caviar. Henry is a man of many tastes.
I love food. I mean, look at me.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but you'll have a chance, by the way, to see Henry. By the way, we got a lot of stuff going on the big event, counting down to this Tuesday, 12:10 WPHT for tickets. But should you be able to buy caviar? Am I even able to ask a question like that on food stamps?
Yeah, why not?
How? Why? Because you're on food stamps. Somebody else is paying for it.
I mean, if you do that, it's incredibly wasteful, and you're wasting a good amount of it, probably.
Right.
But...
Well, again, if you're on food stamps, when you're getting something from somebody, Henry, is what I'm saying, I think they can put conditions on it. That's the way. This isn't like a benefit you earned or anything like that.
No, I get that.
Yeah. You want to die on that hill? You're in the food stamps.
Yeah, it's America. Do what we want. Buy what we want. My food stamps.
By the way, Dan Bongino, did you get that cut? Because I sent it late. Yeah. Do you have it? All right. Yeah, that kind of plays into it. Henry's not saying that just to say that. Now, if you meet us or you meet me anywhere, some people think, oh, you guys just say stuff to get people going on that side of it. You know, when there are two people, when they're a co-host or something, one person says it on WIP, then the other says it. I don't think too many of them do that at all. If you do that, it's going to sound bad over the course of time. So I trust Henry didn't say that just to say that. He's saying it because he thinks
that's what I believe.
Libertarian principle. You ought to be able to get caviar on food stamps. Please bring caviar for Henry on Tuesday night.
Oh, please.
I think you shouldn't. Now, I mention that because Dan Bongino was on with Hannity last night. And I like Dan Bongino personally, but the style of radio he does, you know how I feel about this. Everything's a conspiracy. So listen to this exchange because I try to protect talk radio. I say what I think. I'm not telling you anything different here. Now, you know, we all, on certain things, we put ourselves in the best light. You know, we all like to think about it that way. Bongino comes pretty close to, with Hannity, though, saying, well, we got the guy on January 6th, and I'm not going to get into any conspiracies or whatever. And when asked by Hannity about that, well, that's what you did before. He actually had a whole bunch of shows, Dan Bongino, where he brought in people to say Kamala Harris and the FBI may have set this up. Now, I still think we don't know enough here about this guy, but I jump into conspiracies at January 6th. There is some evidence, more than some, that the FBI had an awful lot of agents out there, and some of them may have been provoking. But I'm glad we got the pipe bomb guy, if we have. And Bongino comes awfully close, and on Twitter, people are going after him to say, well, I was being paid then. Now I have to look at the facts. What? I could easily bypass this, but I do want to make a point. I think the people I know that are good and last over year after year after year, they're not just saying wild stuff to you to get you crazy and to get more listeners. They're telling you what they actually believe to be the truth, opinion-based. I mean, I have opinions on everything. Ask me, and if I say I don't have an opinion on that, oh, my God. I can't imagine what that is.
Yeah, well, it means you're steering clear, I feel like.
Right? When we get to the side question, I may have to savage Cole Hamels today. That's how much of an opinion I have. I don't want to do it, Cole, but I may have to do it. You'll see why in a second. Cole Hamels? Why? All right, so here's Bongino with Hannity.
You know, I don't know if you remember this. This is before you became the deputy FBI director. You put a post on X right after this happened. And you said there's a massive cover-up because the person that planted those pipe bombs, they don't want you to know who it is because it's either a connected anti-Trump insider or an inside job. You said that, you know, long before you were even thought of as deputy FBI director.
Yeah, that's why I said to you this investigation's just begun. We are pretty comfortable. We have our guy. I think as again, legal process starts to surface and information, facts start to come out, the public's going to be very comfortable with the investigation. that was conducted under Director Patel and his leadership. He's been great on this. But I don't want to, listen, I was paid in the past, Sean, for my opinions. That's
all right. So, yeah, he was paid in past for opinions. Now he's dealing in facts. Still holding out. I mean, this guy looks to me to be the typical nut. And again, I'm open to following all the leads. Let's get it all out there if he's connected to anybody. But if he's not, I mean, the big story here now, I don't even have to play it right now. Jake Tapper announces he's a white man. And then up on the screen, you see a guy come on. It's clearly African-American. Why would Tapper do that? Because that's where the CNNs of the world and the others want to go right away. They're looking for some white guy who's a Trump guy. But I'm shocked. Didn't he have a picture of the guy? I'd like an explanation from the Tapper people. Why did Jake Tapper call this guy a white man? Is still basically unanswered. Did he confuse it with another white guy that did something wrong? All right, I have some sound to Brian Fitzpatrick that let me play it now. We told you yesterday, and Henry tells me he's probably going to be on next week, which is good. Not today, but next week. So I get it. Republicans are getting nervous. Even Jeff Van Drew, they got to get something done on health care. Otherwise, these premiums are going to be huge, and they're afraid it'll sink them in the midterms. But Fitzpatrick's plan is 700% of the poverty level. You get covered. In other words, you have to make more than 700% family income. It's $225,000. You still get subsidies of Obamacare. That's crazy. There's no abortion provision in here. I saw a study yesterday that at least 59,000 accounts, maybe a lot more, are bogus accounts. Fitzpatrick's plan says you have to pay $5 a month just so we know that you don't have a bogus account. I don't think that's going to stop fraud. All right, so here is Brian Fitzpatrick. CBS Philly has him in an interview. Here's how it sounded.
Lawmakers in Washington racing to find a solution as Enhanced Affordable Care Act tax credits are set to expire at the end of the month.
The alternative is catastrophic, and that is that nothing gets done and premiums shoot up.
According to data from the Kaiser Family Foundation, a 40-year-old individual making $32,000 a year would see their monthly premiums rise from $58 to $180. The same data shows a 60-year-old couple in Bucks County with an income of $85,000 would see premiums jump from $602 to just over $1,800 a month. The same couple in Camden County paying the same amount would see a spike to nearly $2,500. Republican Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick from Bucks and Montgomery counties tells me he's finalizing a bipartisan plan to extend the subsidies for 2 years with an income cap.
Why don't we take that pot of money that's going to the higher income earners and bolster the amount of money going to the lower and middle income earners? That's something we could all agree to.
Fitzpatrick says he's crafted the plan with input from both parties and both chambers, trying to pull in a number of ideas.
Can't say they agree with everything we're doing, but that's kind of the whole point, right? I mean, this is supposed to be a compromise.
Thursday brought several other plans as well. Senate Democrats introduced a 3-year extension of the existing subsidies, and another bipartisan group of House lawmakers, including Republicans Jeff Van Drew and Ryan McKenzie, backed a framework similar to Fitzpatrick's.
Things are, all right, things are in motion here big time, okay? I'm reading right from his stuff. If he comes on and says something different, you still get some degree of subsidy or subsidies on Obamacare if we're looking at up to $225,000, okay? Up to $225,000. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I wish you were in studio. Come on. And he says, let's not litigate abortion in this. Guess what? We don't want to pay for abortion. You know, Henry's okay with the I don't want to pay for caviar. I don't want to pay for your eating caviar while you're having an abortion or after your abortion to celebrate. I'm fine, you know, without that abortion and the state we're in and the laws and all that stuff. Okay, that's the law. But I don't want to pay for it. That's my law. Just like I don't want to pay for your caviar. I'd love to know how much caviar. Somebody's got to dig that out. How much caviar last year was sold or bought by somebody on food stamps? I don't know how we'd get.
There's got to be a figure on that somewhere.
There's got to be a figure. But the bottom line is Rollins and all these others come on with the Trump people. Are they not aware of this? This is her department. You should not be. The look of it is ridiculous. I said with the soda and potato chips, all right, I don't like it. It's a simple pleasure. Do I want to deny the person? Now I'm thinking the fraud and the stuff that goes into it. Come on, caviar. Yeah, but then it cuts into what you got for the month. Well, it tells me fraud's involved here. Henry, that's my point more. That these people don't need these. They're not qualifying. Yeah. There's a whole scam going on. You get people that don't need them. They're selling them back half price at the bodegas and all this stuff in Camden you see routinely. And it's ridiculous. All right, we got a big hepatitis vaccine story. I got a big guest. I'll send it to you in a second here, Henry. Maybe not today or maybe today. I almost have it. I'll get into that, the whole vote on it. And there's a lot of nuance to it. But also, the war on drugs, this idea that we should just give up. So last night I'm watching CNN, the Jennings show, really. Jennings not on. And they're talking about why are we hitting the Venezuelan drug boats? It's mainly coming in from the Pacific. All right. And I want to get to the bottom of this because I want to stop it. Guess what we did yesterday? We took out a drug boat coming in through the Pacific. 4 were killed, but we took them out. Yeah. The war on drugs is on. We're not going to let you transport drugs into the country. And if you won't stop, you're going to get hit. What's so hard to understand about this? So now it is the Pacific that's involved. One new law, Bill Maher Day, Fridays. Mr. President, stop with the soccer stuff, the World Cup draw and all this stuff. Please, this soccer guy is almost as annoying as that Harold Lutnick guy.
He's the most corrupt person out there, too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Harold Lutnick's probably sitting on his lap right now. They're both there. Yeah. Give me a break with the soccer thing. Come on. All right. All people love it. 855-839-1210.
I can't wait, personally.
You'll get a line. Now, Guy Shiraki, he'll be here later on to explain himself, was texting furiously yesterday when I said, you got to be kidding me, Henry. USC as a elite college or near elite. And Guy says, oh, yeah, there's a slight ahead of Georgetown. Okay, so we got together after the show, and it led to asking for something that is very underrated or at least a bit underrated. That's what we're looking for. That's today's side question. Some people would say that USC then is underrated. My God.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'd say they're overrated.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. Down the hall, we're talking to Spike Eskin. They had a guy on the other day in the Hall of Fame. And I could tell this guy wants to get more people in that Hall of Fame, and I'm at the door blocking every door. You're not getting in there unless you're a step away from Babe Ruth. Otherwise, why have the Hall of Fame? Stop making up all these phony statistics, OPS plus, minus, LBGTQ, kind of stuff. It's ludicrous. And they're making the point that Cole Hamels, you're hearing this right, if you follow sports at all, the eye test. Cole Hamels belongs in the Hall of Fame. Oh, my God. I have nothing against the guy. He's done great work with kids. He was an outstanding Phillies pitcher. And Joe Conklin, that's one of his biggest impressions. We should get Conklin on, Henry. Put a note after the show on Monday to tell us what Cole Hamels thinks about potentially being in the Hall of Fame. Anyhow, though, he has the 5th best strikeouts per 9 innings in the history of baseball.
Among active Hall of Famers.
Right. Yeah, okay, right. Hall of Famers. They're the what count. Right, yeah. Yeah, people that are in the Hall of Fame now.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
But not all players.
Right, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, that's right. It gets at longevity. I see what you're saying. So it's a longevity thing, too. How's that possible? Now, the changeup must have been devastating, and we didn't notice it because power pitchers, you notice blowing guys away. Changeup, maybe you don't notice it.
Mm-hmm.
The 5th of all the pitchers in the Hall of Fame, as I understand it. All right, that's a pretty good stat. But the eye test tells me Cole Hamels is not a Hall of Famer. All right, I'll take a film off, too. The Wrestler, because we were talking about the other day. I went back. I just happened to be seeing something on it. And I think The Wrestler is very underrated. I think that film's really good.
I've still never seen it.
Yeah. If you do, I think you'll see it's not schlocky, and the leads are excellent in it. Really are. How about yours, Henry?
Yeah, so I'll take 2 off the board here.
Yeah.
First one I'm going to take off is an active Philadelphia athlete, actually. Someone we kind of got in just a throwaway trade at the trade deadline last year for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Right.
We traded Caleb Martin to the Mavericks, kind of as like a salary dump. You know, they needed a forward. We needed some guards. All right, we'll take this guy. He's been ho-hum throughout his career. He's, averaged around 10 points until now. But now, since joining the Sixers, I mean, the second half of last year, he scored almost 22 points per game. This year, with a healthy roster, he's averaging almost 17 per night. I think this guy could be a 6th Man of the Year candidate, and I don't see, why it can't be this year. And I'm talking about out of the University of Houston, Quentin Grimes.
I don't like the guy.
Really?
I'm not sure why.
Oh, I love him. I love watching him play every night.
It's like an irrational thing, I would admit.
He's got the most confidence on the floor that this shot is going in.
Oh, he does.
And he takes those.
All right, so that's a good one,
Yeah.
particularly if you follow basketball. Anything else?
Yeah. So the other one I'm going to take off only has a 32% on the Rotten Tomatoes meter here. And it's a shame because I think it's the greatest kind of spoof comedy movie that has ever been made. And it's 2001's Not Another Teen Movie, directed by Joel Gallen, starring Captain America himself, pre-fame. It's makes fun of all the teen movies from the 80s and the 90s into the 2000s, and I think it's perfect because it makes fun of those movies scene by scene. I don't think it gets much better than that.
Sean, we'll give you, unless you have one now, we'll give you a next break. You have one? Something underrated.
Underrated, I would say either, let's see, Grosse Point Blank, the movie, starring John Cusack.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty good.
Oh my God, it's just, I don't know, it's one of my favorite movies. The writing is just top tier. That and the band Big Country. They have one hit here in the States.
Yeah, right.
But their first 3 albums are unreasonably solid.
All right.
855-839-1210. So everybody has something underrated. I know it's easier to attack and overrate it, but underrated we're going today. Coming off USC, if they really are. That start. And Cole Hamels, Hall of Famer. Oh, then they told me, of course, Chase Utley will be. I don't have anything against Chase Utley, but I don't see Hall of Fame again.
Oh, well.
How many guys? Jimmy Rollins is a Hall of Famer. Ryan Howard's a Hall of Famer then, too.
It's the eras. It's the eras. Was he
all
the
in
best?
the Hall of Fame.
No.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I would only put Chase in because he was one of, if not the best, second baseman of that era. But I can't say the same about J-Roll, Howard, and Hamels, despite despite Rollins and Howard both winning MVPs. Right. I can't really say they're the definitively one or two best at their position.
All right, so
it's
855-839-1210. Somebody, something underrated. We should have 1 million of them, so get in early, get in often. By the way, too, I think at the it was a great broadcast today out there in Piazza. The crew there, the gang there, I think held up. I didn't quite see it at that point, but the limited edition, first year, Talk Radio 1210 Christmas ornaments. All right, this is a keeper, limited edition. You get this, you get the book, and you get Scott Jennings. I've been putting up on Twitter. I've gotten about halfway through the book. It's told in a Scott Jennings kind of way, particularly his insights on Trump are dead on. How Trump, you walk into the room, first time, Oval Office, he's like a casting director. I think he said in here, I almost felt like I had to spin around or something. Besson's sitting here. Who is this guy? Rubio, I have to leave now. All right, you'll get it all. It's going to be a lot of fun with Scott Jennings. I've scripted my first 50 questions, Henry, but I may call an audible at the finish line. Sometimes you'll see me rip up the paper just for drama and throw it
I hope you don't have that Kevin Petullo
No,
but
sheet. I just said, though, but I call an audible. Like Jesse
call
Waters, I went, this guy's only speaking 10 seconds. What am I going to do? Thank God. All right, so get your tickets, 1210WPHT.com. Your calls are next on Talk Radio 1210.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Just like our offensive line protects our star quarterback, plumbers protect the health of the nation. And Philadelphia Plumbers Union Local 690 is no different. In hospitals, commercial, industrial, and residential, with the best trained plumbers in the world, you can be sure your project is done on time and on budget, no matter how big or small. So when your business needs to build new or expand existing facilities, you can count on the members of Plumbers Union Local 690. Visit plumbers690.org.
Hey, it's Nick, and the holidays have arrived, and it's time for entertaining those friends and family members. So why not change it up this year and dazzle your loved ones with top-of-the-line beef? Men, we love some great red meat. Omaha Steaks, that's your destination. They have USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy and convenient comfort meals, and more. It's the Sizzle All the Way sale where you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, my listeners get an extra $35 off when you use the promo code NICK at checkout. Last year, I made my brother-in-law and sister succulent strip steaks, and they absolutely love them. Do the same for your family today. 5 generations of uncompromising quality is what you get with Omaha Steaks. They also offer amazing chicken, pork, seafood, and even desserts. Visit omahasteaks.com today for 50% off site-wide, plus $35 off your purchase when you use the promo code NICK at checkout. Sizzle all the way, only with Omaha Steaks. Get your holiday gifting done today, omahasteaks.com.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here for United Tire and Service. The holiday season means road trips, family visits, and lots of driving. Before you hit the road, make sure your car is ready, starting with your tires. Right now, United Tire has the best pricing of the year, and when you buy 2 or more tires, you'll get $50 off any other service your car needs. It could be brakes, an oil change, an inspection, whatever keeps you rolling through the holidays. So before you load up your car and head out to celebrate, swing by United Tire and Service. Don't drive alone, drive United. Visit UnitedTire.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
From Broomall to Blackwood, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Okay, Dom Giordano show. Linda Kearns in the On Deck Circle. Big day out there in Chester County. They're going to certify. Is it too much of a thing to say it's a fraudulent election? Yeah, it depends on how you use the word fraud. Ipso facto, with the people who couldn't get their vote counted, all the nonsense. Certify it, though. We got to certify it. We'll ask her about that. All right, let's go to Tom in Bayville, New Jersey, on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Tom.
Good morning, Dom. Nancy and I, we were on the trip with you and Roe and all the gang to Sicily. We had a great time. We actually sat in one meeting. And I'm still missing Raymina a little bit.
Oh,
a little
absolutely. Oh, what an authority, huh? The PhDs in cooking and radiology. Yeah.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
Well, thank you. First of
all,
all, thank you guys for coming, Tom. You're a great company. It was a great group.
Yeah, it was. It was a very good group. My point today, though, is that I'm not in love with hitting these boats without warning them. But we are almost 100,000 Americans dying every year from drug overdose. And most of it is coming from the South, and a lot of it's coming from fentanyl coming right from the South. We went bananas over the Vietnam War. From 1964 to 1974, 57,000 deaths. We went crazy. 100,000 dead Americans doesn't get anybody excited. So I want to hit the boats. I mean, they need to stop.
Well, the only thing I would say, Tom, by best estimate, I would hit them too, because it's a broader thing. It's a war on drugs. I think they're mostly cocaine. The fentanyl comes from China to the drug cartels in Mexico. I would hit their factories. I think that's what we ought to do if we're serious about cutting off fentanyl. Hit their factories in Mexico.
I agree 100%, but nobody gets excited about 100,000 dead Americans.
I hear you.
Every
Yeah, exactly. No, well, they will on the day they want to get excited about it, and then they'll tell us the war on drugs doesn't work. They have no solution. Trump has gone outside the box with this, and I think it's effective. And also, Tom, he hit the ship in the Pacific. So if more's coming in through the Pacific because of China, we ought to hit them even more then.
No question. And Trump pretty much lives outside the box most of the time anyway. So,
exactly. You got something that's underrated.
Yeah, without question. So we need to do it. I want to do more of it. And then maybe those guys will stop coming.
Absolutely.
Or make it more difficult for them. Well, anyway, great trip. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, Tom, very much. Yeah, the trip was spectacular. If you ever have a chance, Sicily, Calabria, definitely do it. Conservative tours, anytime you want to go on one of those. Dawn's right now, Portugal. All right, so coming up, we're going to talk with Linda Kearns. And again, I have to mention reading. I just got my hands on it yesterday, as you know. I got about halfway through the book. It is great stuff. One line in here gets me. Scott Jennings says at every stop in his book, Revolution of Common Sense, about Trump and Musk, wherever I go, people ask me, well, is it fair on CNN that you have to face all these liberals? He says, no, it's not fair. It would only be fair if they put 2 or 3 more liberals on the other side of the table. Then it might be a fair match. Oh, man, this guy's getting crazy. Put them all on the other side. Have him in a little seat and just a gigantic room of people hectoring and yelling over. That'd be great looking TV. Really. And he just make the smirk, and there we go. Get your tickets. Tuesday is almost here, right? 1210WPHT.com, 1210WPHT.com. Linda Kearns next. Is this an election that is an actual election? They're certifying today in some office out there in horsey country. And the other thing is, could Chrissy Houlihan actually show up? Henry, I would tell you, I would just buy her a drink. I'd buy her a bottle of wine right there. It would stop the night.
Get her bottle service.
Yeah, and I would say, Scott, hold my wine. Just let me handle this for a few minutes. Like, no. Scott Jennings out of the chair. Oh, God. Just a 5-minute debate with the Houlihan. I have some sound of her today. 855-839-1210.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Struggling to find the perfect gift this holiday season? Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa is here to make your holiday shopping easy with an MGM Rewards gift card. Give the gift that gives the most to someone special in your life. MGM Rewards gift cards can be used at one of Borgata's delectable dining venues, to book a luxurious day at the spa, and so much more. Purchase at theborgata.com. And happy holidays from Borgata.
Dawn Stensland here with my secret to keeping warm while I'm hosting and reporting live on some of our city's biggest winter events and parades, thanks to my heat holder thermal socks, gloves, and base layers. 7 times warmer than regular socks, and they are great gifts with flannel or microplush comfy PJs, vests, and blankets. Heatholders.com. Free shipping with orders over $25. 15% off with promo code DAWN1210. Heatholders.com. Tell them DAWN1210 sent you.
Searching for a new path to wellness? Dr. Molly Fantasia explains how medical hydration therapy can help you reclaim your energy. Listen to Health Watch, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT from the Piazza Auto Group Studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations.
I'd say top 5 Elvis. We'll find out what is Elvis underrated? Wow, I got
Underrated?
him I have him on the Mount Rushmore of the 4 big entertainers of all time. Michael Jackson, of our lifetime.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, Elvis, Sinatra. I don't know who the 4th is. I vary. Remember, it's not just pure voice or what.
Taylor Swift.
You might have to say it, boy, that's depressing, but it's the bigness of it that's there. There's other 3, no doubt. But Frank Sinatra would be just a little ledge above the precipice. Elvis, just a little bit below it. That's what would happen. Linda Kern's here on Talk Radio 1210. No Elvis talk. Let's talk law.
Hey, Dom. How are you?
Good, Linda. All right, so go ahead.
I just want to quick mention, I heard you talking about underrated, and
Yes.
I think that the 1210 WPHT producer, Jimmy Kelly, is underrated because he is so amazing.
Oh, yeah.
He's amazing. He just, I debuted as a guest host last week. He just emailed me the files so that I would have them in perpetuity. He gave me my own set of headphones. He always meets me downstairs, at security.
Mm-hmm.
He's underrated and he's amazing. So that's my vote.
Very nicely played. Jim Kelly will remember that. So, Linda, is this a fraudulent election being held or certification in Chesco today?
Okay, so I want to be careful about the use of the word fraud. Fraud is a wrongful deception intended to, change the results or for gain. And I think that word is very overused in the context of elections. There were a lot of mistakes in Chester County this last time around, and they were completely and entirely preventable. However, it does appear that most, if not all people, had the opportunity to vote provisionally. As you know, I came on your show and I asked people to email me, and everyone who emailed me said that they kept checking and they finally confirmed that their ballot was counted. So despite just the chaos and confusion that could have been prevented, most people were able to vote. I think there were a couple people that ended up leaving and not voting because, they had to get to work or whatever, and the workers couldn't figure out the provisional ballot process. But for the most part, most people voted. And with elections, any election, there has to be finality. You have to just end it and move on because we can't just keep litigating these elections after the fact.
Here's what I would say about it, though. I was putting it out there. I didn't want to get you in a legal thing. I meant in layman's terms. Linda, if they at least had done the investigation, these things take too long. They're suspect to me. You ought to be able to do this in a day reasonably to get to the bottom of what happened and tell people that before the date of certification, if you at least told us what happened, that's good public practice is the way I would put it.
Right, and this is complete bureaucracy. First of all, they hired a law firm.
Right.
The website says that it's going to cost $35,000. If I was a taxpayer in Chester County, I would be absolutely livid. I don't think it needs a bunch of lawyers charging by the hour to figure out what happened. I'll tell you what happened. They got those poll books back and no one opened them and proofread them. That's what happened. And they should be proofread. They should be spot checked. You need to treat each vote like it's a lottery ticket for $1 million or $1 billion. And you need to check every step of the way. You don't just send these off to the printer and then bring them back and then distribute them to the polling places. You check, you spot check, you double check. And so they don't need a big investigation to find out what happened here. They need to have best practices and start to double check and spot check. And unfortunately, in Pennsylvania, it seems like every election, one county or the other, or sometimes multiple counties, run into these problems, and it's a real disgrace. And I think it's really undermining voter confidence.
Absolutely. And that then brings me to, we had Greg Rothman on, and I think Rothman yesterday triggered me. He started talking about mail-in balloting, and you're the person that won the day in Pennsylvania. Scott out there telling people to do it, but you also reassuring them about all the ways we could fact-check this to make sure it was okay.
Well, what did Rothman say about mail-in balloting?
Well, he's all on, it's already on it for the governor's race. They're already moving forward. Because, Linda, go ahead.
What, he wants to encourage Republicans to use mail-in balloting?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, they did it before. They actually had contests. They did all kinds of things. I think he really helped, but we're still anemic. And in the special election in Tennessee, they had rolled up a huge start again on mail-in balloting, still indicating that we just are not there yet. Either what do you know with the RNC or just some thoughts for listeners again to spread this, at least where we live, that this is what we have to do. And the assurances due to you and the work of others are pretty good. And there are ways that you can do it that are almost foolproof.
Right. So as an election integrity person, I don't think we should vote by mail ballots. And most people would agree with me, and I get that. But we have to play the game that we're in. We have to play the hands that we're dealt. So we have to use mail-in balloting to make sure that if you're going to be sick or not available or something's going to happen, that your vote's already in. And you as an individual voter, you can do things to make sure your own ballot gets counted. First of all, order it as early in the process as possible.
Right.
So that you're not waiting till the end so that it doesn't get there. It's preferable to go to your county election board. Now that takes time because sometimes you have to wait in line. They have to print it out for you. You fill it out there, you return it. But at least then you're not depending on it going through the mail. And do it as early as possible. And read every single direction, double check, triple check. I mean, because I often vote by mail because I'm not available on election day because I'm in court. I even though I know that ballot like the back of my hand, I double check and triple check. I read every single direction. I make sure I do it exactly right. I look at it. I take my time. So you guys as voters, the listeners as voters, you need to do everything that you possibly can to make sure your own vote is counted. And then places like the RNC or the state party and the local parties, they need to do what we did in 2024, which was recruit as many poll watchers as possible, get as many Republicans in these polling places to poll watch and to be election board workers, and also to have observers when they're opening the mail ballots. So the listeners can do something individually, that is make sure you request it as early as possible and fill it out correctly, and then these parties need to take advantage of these observer processes. And then our legislature needs to come up with a law so that it's much more streamlined, it's much better, that it's a little more uniform with regard to who can observe and how the observation process happens.
What's holding that up, Linda? What's holding that up? You've been saying that for a while.
Because it seems like nobody is just introducing that as a pure law. They always add in other things, and then the Democrats want goodies in there to try to get, because you're going to need the governor to sign it. And that's what happens with legislation. Instead of a pure, hey, this is what we want, they always add in all these other goodies, and a lot of those other goodies really, really scare me because Democrats want you to be able to register, for instance, on Election Day, which really, really is horrifying to me. That's something that they always are asking for. Republicans want voter ID. Democrats don't necessarily want voter ID or don't want it as strict as Republicans want it. So all we get is people bouncing all these ideas back and forth, and no true legislation, functional legislation gets passed. And I got to tell you, we have an incredibly passive Secretary of State here in Pennsylvania. I think that, our Secretary of State doesn't have a lot of power. He's more of an advisor. He doesn't actually, have the power over the counties, but he could take a more intense role. I mean, imagine if I was Secretary of State. Do you think I would be as passive as him, or I would be out there trying to fix things?
That's just what I thought. And on a personal level, I get along great with him, and he comes on, but then nothing happens. You're right.
Yeah, I don't think that he's effective at all, and it's unfortunate that he doesn't have the power that other secretaries of state have, but that do with the power what you can, and I don't think that he is. But individual voters, I don't want anyone to be discouraged. I show up to vote every single time. Like, you cannot say, I don't trust the process, I'm not going to show up to vote. And that's getting more and more important for Republicans because it seems like we have turned into the low propensity voters. We're the ones that aren't showing up. And if we don't show up in these off-year elections, these special elections, it's causing real problems. And in order for our Republican candidate, whoever it is, it looks like it's going to be Stacey Garrity, to win next year, we're going to need robust Republican turnout, and then we're going to need to convince a lot of the independents and some of the Democrats to vote for her, and that's quite the tall order.
Absolutely. Linda, thank you so much, as always. Are you going to be at the event on Tuesday? We want to announce that you're there.
Oh, you know what? I might be. I'll see. I will let you know. I did hear you guys talking about who you talk about the most on the show, and I heard someone say maybe it's Linda Kearns, but I'm a little concerned. Do you think my name gets mentioned because I'm that goofy girl who likes Elvis, or because I'm a respected lawyer? Because
wait a minute. Because I'm a respected goofy girl. Is that right, Henry? That's what the
I don't know.
Come on, Henry. Come on. You told me that in the meeting after the show. That's what you said.
It's close. It's definitely close. But I want to lean lawyer.
Okay. We'll lean lawyer for the record.
Thank you. See, Henry wants to be nice to me. He wants to be on my good side.
Yeah, I want to be higher than third favorite producer at the station.
Yeah, well, who are the other? Oh, DeSantis is number one. Who's second? Jimmy Kelly?
Who do you think? Oh, maybe Jimmy jumped in front of me. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, Jimmy jumped. Dan is awesome, and he was my producer when I filled in. And he was
that's it. Steve and Dan. There we go. Okay. All right, Linda. Have a great weekend.
But you're my favorite host. No one can ever replace that. So you're my favorite host.
Well,
okay?
Thank you, Linda. Thank you very much. All right, to be continued on that. I'm listening for other shows to hear that. Okay. I got somebody on the. Okay, we'll take the call. Still wanting to fight the battle on the mail-in ballot. Look. All right. When Henry hits that's kind of rare. Dan used to hit it to say, I have to go to the bathroom, but Henry.
No, I wouldn't announce that. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
No, this just in. President Donald Trump has won the Peace Prize.
Okay, yes, from Fight FIFA.
The FIFA Peace Prize, which was just invented, 10 minutes ago.
By one of the most corrupt guys in the world.
One of the most corrupt guys in the world, the
FIFA
president.
I was going to say.
That's all you have. You know what? Tell them what prize can we give Trump? The hair prize.
Yeah.
Tell him how much I talk about hair. I give him the hair prize. We could do it for the show from the Oval Office.
The FIFA president can't give out a hair prize. He's bald.
That's right. This fraudulent organization. God. All right, so Chester County, nice certification today. Why don't you tell people in a half hour with a fancy lawyer in the back and forth what the heck happened on Election Day? And what are you going to do about it? All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Coming up, I'll give you my first shot, yet pun intended, about what happened today with hepatitis B and kids, the recommendation not at birth now. And I'll tell you some of the science on that side and some of the overall science on vaccines and where we should come down on this. It's a major deal today. 855-839-1210. Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Thrilled to be bringing Scott Jennings to the Colonial Theater in Phoenixville for our next Politics and Pints on the 9th of December at 7:30. His book, President Trump Says, is directly inspired by my inaugural address. No fake news. There's Jennings derangement syndrome across the country now because of all this. You'll get it all. Get your tickets now. Go to 1210WPHT.com, 1210WPHT.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm Jalen Hurst here for Window Nation. When I'm on the field, I'm always looking for a window of opportunity. If you're looking for a window of opportunity to replace windows in your home, now's the time.
This December, Window Nation puts an end to your window problems. You'll save big, too, with 50% off all window styles. Plus, you can get 0 interest for 5 years. Hurry, this sale ends soon, so schedule your free estimate right now at windownation.com. Tell them you heard it on 1210 WPHT.
Visit windownation.com.
If you haven't made a dentist appointment this year, you still have this month to schedule an appointment with my friend, my dentist, Dr. Mike Veneria. Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Why Dr. Mike, you ask? He's the best. For over 12 years in a row, Dr. Mike has been recognized by his peers as a master of complex dentistry. That's right. He treats other doctors. He's the expert the experts call to handle the complex dental surgeries and procedures. See, with Dr. Mike Veneria, it's not about cost, it's about care. His compassion and commitment to your health, that's his top priority. So make your appointment and get your free dental implant consultation today. If you've already had an estimate for one, get a second opinion. It's worth doing. And don't forget, as the year's almost over, check your remaining benefits. You could have benefits ready to expire that you can use towards your dental procedure. 856-786-2020. VeneriaDental.com. VANARIA, my buddy, my dentist, Dr. Mike Veneria, VeneriaDental.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Free speech lives here. With Dom Giordano, weekdays noon till 3 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. I'll get to this hepatitis C after our next guest because I need some more time with that. But Henry, Fox Business, U.S. investigating Waymo, which is the self-driving taxi in Philadelphia, after footage captures self-driving cars, a lot of them, illegally moving past school buses in Texas. Oh, yes, there we go. Wasn't that programmed in?
I guess not. And you know what? When I was down in Texas, when I was riding them, there weren't any school buses out because it was the summer. So
summertime.
Didn't even think about that.
I mean, you think they would program it if it has the thing that flips out. Do the buses there have that?
Right,
don't pass, stop, that kind of thing. What the heck? Are they, well, no, we don't have to stop for a school bus. Oh, my God. I'm just picturing these maniac self-driving cars and kids walking in front of the school bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I wonder if the light, because I know it's all LiDAR, you know, that's how it picks it up, everything around it. I wonder if it picks up, like, I mean, the stop sign, I guess it could be bigger, maybe, in order for it to pick it up.
Oh, the poor computer. We
have to capitulate to the computer car. I don't like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's bad. Yeah, they need to work on that.
I'll be following this because be on the alert. They're out there in Philadelphia. Just remember that. The Waymo taxi thing is now a thing in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and places like that. So we'll go forward. 855-839-1210. Just a little tease on this. The hepatitis B is still given at this point at birth. And the argument is apparently it's not just sex related. The argument on the other side is, you know, we want to start cutting down on the number of vaccines that are mandatory. And I'm in agreement with that. In Jersey, it's double figures, I believe. And we also want to take a look at when they should be given. And the people on the new CDC panel voted today not to recommend giving the vaccine to the child shortly after birth. Instead, they calculate 2 months in. And this has caused a huge firestorm. So we're going to have somebody on that panel on, I'm pretty assured, on Monday around this. And, you know, as a layman, I hear some of the points they're making, and I'm in the camp of really zoning in on creeping vaccinations and a lot of them and all that. But here we go again. Kennedy seemed to be suggesting this could be a cause of autism. And scientifically, the consensus is overwhelming that it's not. And again, this drive to find what's causing autism, yeah, it should be like a Manhattan Project, 1 out of 32, something like that we know of. But I'm tired of being dismissed, too, when I say, well, you know, it strikes me that we're better and we have a spectrum, so we are tagging more people as autistic. I'm not saying that's the only reason that it's now reached these astronomical levels. I'm just saying, though, I think that's it. And you saw the attack on Tylenol. I don't know what that's done so far. I don't think the evidence bears out on that, and most of the scientists don't either with that. I'll give you more details on this. There's a lot going on with this because this is really the first major vaccine thing that the new CDC has gotten involved in. All right, we all week have talked about, it's a riveting story, over $1 billion, Somali-based in Minnesota, of fraud, waste, abuse, but fraud, Medicaid, and related things. We have one of the guys who I would say really amplified this story well before New York Times and others. They really put it on the front page. They'll drill down on the details and tell you what's happened and what has to happen next. Also, don't forget your tickets. We were just talking to Linda Tuesday night, 1210WPHT.com. Really special night. I've chosen my outfit. At least Ro has.
Boy.
Ro is my interior. We'll see if Henry agrees which look, I'll tell you about that in the next hour, is best for Scott Jennings. I mean, we're presenting for Scott Jennings. I don't think my car is. I'm holding out for a station vehicle. I don't think we ought to arrive in a limo.
Don't hold your breath for that
Scott, would you like to get there in a self-driving car? No, I'm not doing it.
No, I want to make it there alive.
Alive. We're passing school buses. And now who gets a ticket? How do you give a ticket to the self-driving car?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, exactly. I know nothing about it. I'm against them. All right, 855-839-1210. We'll talk with him next.
At Crash Proof Retirement, we understand that out of all the threats to your retirement future, your health is the greatest. That's why our firm offers unique asset-based long-term care strategies to provide financial stability to our clients, like Donna McMacken.
70% of people will one day need long-term care. I went through this with my mother. I had to liquidate all of her assets and sell her house, and I don't want that for me. Should the need arrive, the long-term care policy that I have through Crash Proof covers $9,000 per month in care. Should I be fortunate and not have to use that, it goes to my beneficiaries. I've been Crash Proof since 2013, and still I've never paid them a fee.
Schedule an appointment to see if you qualify for asset-based long-term care. Call 800-722-9728 or visit crashproofretirement.com.
Start your collectible coin journey today with the first ever Seuss coin. Hip, hip, hooray! The Grinch is here for all to see. DrSeussCoins.com kicks off your collecting spree. Now, for the first time ever, Rare Collectibles TV has licensed Dr. Seuss's beloved creations, making them come to life on collectible, adorable coins. Don't wait, or you'll be too late. Get yours today before they're gone forever. Only 5,000 examples have been minted. Each Grinch coin is made from 1 ounce of pure .999 fine silver and is in perfect condition. Give the gift of wonder and enchantment to your kids or your grandkids. Just go to DrSeussCoins.com to start this whimsical coin journey today with the limited edition Silver Grinch coin. That's DrSeussCoins.com, DrSeussCoins.com.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. I want you to come away with me to stunningly beautiful Portugal. Yes, what the Roman Empire called Finisterre, the end of the earth, we'll be calling home for 10 days next spring. So if you've loved our events in Italy, oh my goodness, what a treat in store for you, designed just for us, for our listeners at 1210. Dining at the wineries rivaling the best in Europe, private Portuguese escort, along with 4-star accommodations. 5738, yes, that includes your airfare from Philadelphia. I want you to call now, 888-733-9494, or you can go to conservativetours.com. And Portugal isn't just a playground of the world's jet set. We'll learn how this sea-facing land became a world power. The beauty of Sintra, Cabo de Roca, Cascais alone, they're worth the crossing, but there's more. Santiago de Compostela in Spain, drawing pilgrims in a passionate way. We'll learn why together. ConservativeTours.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
All right, it is Dom time. And if you remember, we had 2 breaking stories around immigrants, illegal, quasi-illegal, protected status, and all that. The Afghan alleged killer of the National Guard, and when did that happen? The Wednesday before Thanksgiving, right? And as that was developing even, President Trump suddenly was more talking about the Somalis in Minnesota and the fraud story that's been there in plain sight for a while, but suddenly was outed. Ryan Thorpe, along with Chris Rufo. Ryan is the investigative reporter at the Manhattan Institute. For my money, they were the ones well ahead of the curve on this, breaking it, amplifying it nationally, getting it out there in great detail. And also, I would add making cogent points like you have a group of people that, given modern mores, have been able to get away with assimilating. And Haiti is a country where the government is non-existent or very corrupt, even more than Philadelphia. Well, it's pretty close. And as a result, people think nothing of getting over. That's their way to survive. Ryan joins us here in Philadelphia on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Ryan, great job to you guys. You really have an important story, amplified it, got it out there well ahead of everybody else. What is it that drew you and Chris Rufo to this, Ryan?
Initially, we were doing some digging into fraud, waste, and abuse in government welfare programs, kind of writ large. We then keyed into Minnesota, given the indictments that were stacking up, because it seemed like, from the outside looking in, that they, had a significant problem on their hands. And then, as we dove into the story, it just immediately became apparent that, you connect some obvious dots here, and these massive fraud rings that have taken billions, stolen billions from taxpayers. This has been heavily concentrated in the Somali community, and yet it seemed like progressive politicians, progressive media were, either unwilling or unable to acknowledge this fact. So that was really the kind of jumping off point for us.
How were they able to do that? We know that big things can happen, but when you have a B in front of it, a billion, not just a million here and there, how were they able to do that? Is it just Walls? Is it Ellison that listeners even know about over the years? And the culture there? There must be more, though, to get away with it to this point.
Yeah, the more we looked at this, the more it became very apparent that you almost had a perfect storm brewing in the state of Minnesota. So you had, a sizable Somali population, the largest concentration of Somalis outside of Somalia itself. This is a community that, I've learned it's fairly insular. It comes from a tribal, clan-based society. And what some of these fraud rings have also demonstrated is that they are unafraid to cynically deploy accusations of racism as a shield when people start asking questions about what's been going on. You have that colliding with, perhaps the most generous welfare state in the country, a kind of bleeding heart political class that is terrified of being seen as politically incorrect, and also alienating the Somali community, which has turned into a sizable voting bloc in that state. So when those conditions all collide, this is what we get.
Yeah, I did Minnesota radio, Ryan, way back when, and they told me, you have to be polite, not like in Philadelphia. We're polite, but you know what I mean? And also, don't say anything about the Somalis. That's what the guy there tells me. I said, well, there's a heck of a story here they're engaged in. This was a while ago. How do you guys know, or the supposition is that, I think it was you and Chris, that some of the money is going to terrorism in Somalia?
Yes. So we had heard this claim from a very well-placed, well-connected source that we had developed in Minnesota. And so that was the jumping off point for exploring that aspect of the story. Over the course of our investigation, we developed a number of sources who were in law enforcement, who served in counterterrorism. One source in particular who was a longtime member of the JTTF out of Minneapolis. And we spoke to these people, and we were trying to trace, what is going on with this stolen money. Well, millions of it has been sent abroad. The Somali diaspora in Minnesota has sent significant funds in remittances back to Somalia to support, family members. And that's also true of stolen tax dollars in some of these fraud rings. Well, given the fact that Al-Shabaab controls a significant chunk of that country, what our sources were telling us is that in the areas they control, the hawalas, which are kind of informal money transfer networks, they're under their control. So when money is passing through, they're absolutely getting their hands on a cut of it. So inadvertently, stolen American tax dollars have ended up in the coffers of a Al-Qaeda affiliated radical jihadi terror group.
We're talking with Ryan Thorpe here about this really, really thorough and important investigation. He's an investigative reporter at the Manhattan Institute. So are these people, by and large, here legally? Tom Homan is going there, or is there, with ICE to send a message. And this temporary protective status, is that going to change?
So my understanding is that the temporary protected status, there was only, I forget the number off the top of my head, but we're talking hundreds of people, hundreds of Somali in Minnesota who would have fallen under that status. Meanwhile, the Somali community itself is, 80,000. I've seen some estimates potentially upwards of 100,000. So this is a very small subset of the population that would have been impacted by the termination of temporary protected status for that community. And then in terms of people who have been arrested in these fraud rings or indicted to date, I do believe that many of them have become American citizens.
And as I remember it, Ryan, when I filled in there, they did tell me, feel free to talk about Omar. A lot of these people are settled in her congressional district.
Yes, and certainly there were connections between Ilhan Omar and the Feeding Our Future fraud ring in particular, which, ripped off hundreds of millions of dollars, claiming to be feeding meals to underprivileged, hungry children when no meals were being served and the money was simply being pocketed. But, the people associated with this fraud ring certainly had political connections to Omar, made public appearances, gave donations, political donations to her. So the more you dive into this, the more you start to see that members of the Somali community, and including those who have been engaged in these fraud rings, they've really established some strong political connections for themselves in the state and are unafraid to tap those in moments when they're facing scrutiny.
A little bit outside the box, Ryan, because I knew I was having you on today, and you guys are top-notch investigative reporter at the Manhattan Institute. We hear a lot when we think in fraud, something like that, and SNAP. And Brooke Rowans has been in the news, the head of the agriculture. Listeners made me aware today, and maybe you knew this already. Well, what do we do to at least stop this, that you can be on food stamps and buy caviar? Lobster, I sort of knew, but caviar, and the caviar can on Amazon says, we are now EBA compliant. You can buy us. Are you aware of that? They're making all these moves on all this stuff. I don't think Americans want people to be buying caviar if you're on food stamps.
So I wasn't aware of that, although that's an incredible detail to learn. I mean, one lesson I think that is quite clear from the experience in Minnesota is that when you look at these government welfare programs that were defrauded, so often there was almost no guardrails. There were very few checks and balances, and that this was done as a matter of design. The idea being we have to get money into the hands of people who need it. We need to have low barriers for entry into these programs. And so whether it's SNAP or some of these programs in Minnesota, there needs to be a real let's go back to the drawing board and kind of think through from step one how we are administering these programs, because often it falls quite short and doesn't ultimately protect taxpayer interest and taxpayer dollars.
Since we're talking about that too, any sense, I don't know, particularly with the Somalis, but I look at a couple of the Republican plans on Obamacare, because it looks like somehow or another we're going to continue that, the subsidies, Ryan, and they want to put $5 a month you have to pay to stop fraud, because it appears to be an unbelievable number of these accounts are not really for health for people that are needing the subsidy. They're getting money that's fraudulent. I don't know that $5 a month, that's cost of doing business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done any specific digging into that area, so I certainly don't want to get out in front of my skis here, but the situation in Minnesota, it's happening. I think Minnesota stands out as potentially the worst in the nation, but there are issues all over the place, and we've certainly been getting some tips about potential other stories to dig into when it comes to fraud in these types of programs. So it's something we hope to continue investigating and hopefully reporting on.
Well, you really struck a chord with this well ahead, and the repercussions are going forward. You've offered up the solutions. Where do we find your work, and how often, Ryan? Where do people find you?
Yeah, you can read me at City Journal, which is the magazine published by the Manhattan Institute, and I'm also on X at RK_Thorpe.
I'm going to go there right now. Make sure I follow you to get the good stuff. Ryan, thank you very much. If you need any more caviar information, I will send it. But I tell you, I think it's an interesting story.
Oh, it was a pleasure to join you.
Thank you, Ryan. Ryan Thorpe here. I can tell he's a guy doesn't want to get out ahead of it there, Henry. But the caviar thing, that was from a listener. I'm looking at the can you can buy on Amazon. Now we're EBT compliant. You can buy. Advertising it that way is just shock. Why? How many people? Does that tell you something? They must think a good number of people that are getting food stamps, probably not needing them, are going to buy caviar.
Yeah, I bet it's been asked like in the checkout line before. It's like, what do you mean you can't buy this?
Yeah, exactly. Can you see? You see the
jarred
cashier?
products.
I used to on Fridays ask stories of people in the checkout line, either the kid and the mother attacking the kid, or somebody's in front of you, a fancy cake, a lobster, and then you're making do with what you have, and you see them take out the EBT card. Oh man,
yeah,
nothing like that. 855-839-1210. You get a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All that you have to do is just push pound 1210. We'll get you on board. You can get in. Don't forget the side question, and that is something that is underrated is what we're looking for. Hey, imagine actually feeling merry, bright, and genuinely healthy this holiday season. With Rescue, that feeling starts right now. Going on today, the Deck the Halls sales lets you save up to 78% on high-quality, research-backed natural supplements so you can feel your best and enjoy every festive moment ahead. For over 40 years, Rescue Natural Supplements, well, they've been the trusted wellness partner for millions of folks and their families across the country. Formulas are crafted with purity, potency, and real science behind every capsule. That's why customers rely on Rescue for their essentials: powerful omega-3s, doctor-recommended cholesterol support, gentle but effective pain relief, advanced probiotic blends, and natural age-defying formulas that help you stay vibrant from the inside out. So this season, give yourself the gift of feeling good. Stock up big and step into the holidays with the confidence that comes from supplements that are made with integrity and backed by decades of results. Ordering is easy. Just go to res-q.com or call a Rescue product consultant, 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483, or online, res-q.com for up to 78% off this entire holiday season.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Julia owed the IRS thousands.
I was paralyzed with fear.
Then
I heard a commercial for Optima Tax Relief.
Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and experts in the Fresh Start Initiative.
Optima Tax Relief settled my IRS tax bill.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
It was amazing.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Visit OptimaTaxRelief.com for details.
Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon is the secret to finishing your holiday shopping this year. Visit their locations in Glen Mills and Springfield, or you can go online at josephanthony.com, where gift cards are available. That's josephanthony.com.
B101 is spreading holiday cheer throughout Philly. Tune in for the soundtrack to your Christmas season, featuring all the holiday songs you love. Christmas music all day, every day, only on B101, Philly's official Christmas station.
Bet3. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-282-8635. That's 800-282-8635. 800-282-8635.
As the holidays arrive, Bucks County Estate Traders is grateful for you, their customers who believe that furniture should have character, history, and heart. Every piece they carry has a story, and they love helping it become part of yours. If you're looking to finish a room, warm up a space, or find that perfect focal point, you'll discover it in their Hatfield showroom. Bucks County Estate Traders, helping you create a home that feels uniquely yours. Visit buckscountyestatetraders.com, open 7 days a week.
You can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, it is Dom time. Got so many people calling in. I do want to get to this hepatitis B. Let me just say this. The vote was overwhelming today with the CDC panel. I'm in touch with one of the leading members of this. Their argument is you don't need to be doing that. You test the mother. The argument of the other side is if you get hepatitis B, you wait 2 months. It is no cure. It's a lifelong disease, could result in a lot of things that are downside. I like the fact that we are looking at every nook and cranny of this debate over vaccines. You know, we're told all the time, well, you don't understand science, why we're giving a multitude of vaccines, I'll say it that way, multiple, in one fell swoop, that we've started doing that. And in a place like Jersey, the numbers of vaccines that are mandatory. This one, the debate is over when to do it, but there seems to be an inkling. Some of these people on the board, I don't know if they want to vaccinate. The Children's Hospital, which, you know what, I like the guy, so I'm not going to say his name because I admire him, but not the hospital anymore, given their stance on the trans nonsense. They say, well, somebody with hepatitis B, if they're around you and you haven't been vaccinated, you don't have to do anything with them, just casual contact or being in the area. That could be enough. So that's what the worriment is. This is a big vote, not just specifically on hepatitis B, of where this debate is going. Kennedy is going to be the most consequential, other than President Trump, out of all these things that have gone on here. You know that, and I know that. Just look at even in the first year. This is a milestone here. The fact that he claims, and the science community, I would say the consensus is no. This could be a cause, or maybe even says this is a direct link to autism. Again, Manhattan Project. We have so many kids autistic, so many people. All right. Doesn't mean we're going to go around, though, saying Tylenol. You know the whole thing with that. We've been through that. Better not to take Tylenol. Better not to do that. Dr. Siegel on with me during pregnancy. But you know what? You don't want to get into an inflammation. You don't want to get somebody sick during that period of time either. So great that we're going to look for the cause of autism. But saying everything, starting that up in this is causing a lot of consternation. So you can get in on that. This is a big moment, though. The drug boat stuff. This guy, Jim Himes, he might come on, too. And I think we would both go nuts. He's on the House Intelligence Committee. And it's the Himes cut, Henry, because I want to make a point about the Pacific. I think it's slightly new than the one we've been playing. Maybe it's not. It's cut 11. He describes people killed during the drug boat by the second strike as two terrified men that probably didn't have a lot of economic opportunity. Listen to this.
You know, I live in a political world, and a lot of folks
if you just tell them, the president is killing narco-terrorists in the Caribbean, reasonably enough, they'll say, a lot of Americans die because of overdoses. And, they might say, okay, I'm supportive of that, right? But what you need to do is you need to see two terrified men clinging to the wreckage of a ship. And these men are not, this is not Pablo Escobar out there on a boat. These are guys that probably didn't have a lot of economic opportunity, made a terrible decision to participate in the drug trade.
It's just the language of that right there at the end, even more. You think, you ever hear the phrase, Henry, I get, and you see this in sports, when we want some guy to play at the pro level, but he's killed somebody or he's a criminal. He's done something. Well, Your Honor, the young man, as soon as I hear the young man, that's it. You're going to jail for 20 years, Your Honor, the lawyer. You get one young man in my court. Don't say it again. Don't say it. It's like Joe Pesci. Don't say it. The young man, well, the same thing he said there. They made a terrible decision. Like, this is a decision-making process. Look, you don't have to be Pablo Escobar. We ought to kill him, too, and every one of them. You're in the drug trade. You know exactly what you're doing.
You're a foot soldier.
You're a foot soldier, right. It's not everybody at the top. So ask for him to come on. I think this would be pretty good.
I think of it like this, where it's like in The Sopranos, when Christopher had Matthew Bevilacqua and those guys running around with him. They're foot soldiers. Those are the guys running these boats. Not, exactly. Tony Soprano's not in that boat.
Right. Well,
it's not like
my answer to this. My answer is good. Would you agree we ought to be killing them too?
They're not innocent bystanders.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I want to take out the top guys. If I can get at them, I'm going to take them out. Instead, they don't want to take anybody out. Then we have to see vigils with candles all around fentanyl. All right. Here's the thing I agree with them on. Pretty much. I'm telling you, it's clear to me Venezuela is not the biggest source of fentanyl or anything close to it. Now, we did take out people coming in on the Pacific. I saw Charles Blow. What an interesting name. The columnist from the New York Times, particularly debating drugs, Charles Blow.
Born for that role.
Yeah, that's right. Saying, well, what are you guys talking about? Why are we killing them in Venezuela? I want to take them out, just for the record. Check that box, Venezuela. But they're coming in through the Pacific with fentanyl. China, everybody knows that. Well, I'm not sure about that. It's Mexico, but maybe they're coming in. Guess what? Yesterday, we hit and killed 4 in a drug boat coming from the Pacific. So good. If that's all I want to know is what we can agree on with Democrats of where it's coming from, and then what action would they sanction? I think we could get agreement. I'll agree with them on that. They don't want to take out Venezuela, but they really don't want to take out where fentanyl is coming from. Now, if it's China, then we're up against a problem that any number of people, some of them Republicans, have allowed China to grow into such a behemoth that what do? China is the source of a lot of fentanyl, if not almost exclusively. What do we do with them? We put ourselves into a position where they have gotten to be such a power that it's pretty hard to push back on them. If I had to, I wouldn't allow any of their students coming from China in American universities. I would root out every one of them that's spying on us in any way possible. I would make it uncomfortable for our teams that are playing footsie with them, like the NBA, et cetera. I would do whatever I could, but I have to admit, with China, how much can I do? Mexico, I know what I would do. Ron DeSantis would do it. Why doesn't Trump? You gotta ask questions here if you really want to get to the bottom of this. I saw DeSantis again today. He's not charismatic as a presidential candidate. He's not. But he drills down on something. If DeSantis believes, as I do, that's where the fentanyl's coming from, Ronnie DeSantis is going to say, hit them. Hit the drug factories. And if we hit the drug factories, what would the Democrats say then? With the drug boats are trying to claim these are just fishermen, really, going 160 miles an hour over waves, taking their life into the line. No, we're not going to send the Coast Guard chasing them at 160 miles an hour. We don't want to get the Coast Guard killed. And I think they think, well, why can't we put something in the air telling you, pull over or you'll be shot? Okay, I'm fine. If we have the technology, give them the obligatory. You have 1 second to pull over and then hit them.
I'm thinking like a giant fishing net or something.
Yeah.
You just drop on them.
Okay, well,
you could just like fish them out once you shot their boat down, and then like use them for information, try and get them.
Yeah, but I don't know if they can quite get to them quicker. They're afraid that they're going to pass the drugs off that were there, is the argument. To other cartel ships. You know, the cartel's not fooling around.
That's what the Nets for.
That's $100 million there. They're going to swoop in.
They can totally do that surrounded by boats.
Yeah, but getting there quickly enough is the issue. I don't think we want to have the Coast Guard chasing them, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These guys they're two things. They're skilled and they're reckless in that they're going to make a lot of money, particularly for their economy. He's right about that. And the bottom line is they're willing to risk. They're risking just by going at that speed. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever been a boat that I can't even imagine that.
I don't think I have.
I don't know how many feet in the air this thing must come out. You've seen them. You've seen the shape of
if you've gone fast on a boat and you're going over a wave and you're like, oh my gosh, well, that flying.
God. Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. Driving doesn't bother me as much, but a boat, oh my goodness. You know, I'm nervous in anything, just tugging along. All right, let's go to Gary in Newtown. Something about Henry's buying his drink.
Oh, all right.
All right, here we go. Gary, is that at the Politics and Pints or what?
Absolutely. Well, let's start with this. Welcome to my side of not wanting to pay for Coca-Cola chips and everything else with an EBT card, finally.
Okay.
And while we're at it, when I see you next time and Henry is in our midst, he's going to buy us drinks, and we're not even going to thank him.
Oh, that's right, because he thinks you're going to be able to buy caviar. That's right.
Oh, yeah, why not? Caviar. You know what? You'll get a glass of wine. You know what? Let's have him take us to dinner. Why not?
You need a thank you for paying taxes.
You know what? I think we ought to have some caviar, at least an ounce, Greg Stocker, on the table there so that we can mock it.
I'm sure there's cheap caviar.
Oh, get cheap caviar. It's
Cheaper.
An ounce for $80.
Yeah. That's more high end.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me give you some stats about what you're talking about on autism and Somali.
Yes.
And let's see. In 2018, there were 41 clinics. There's over 300 in 2023. In that same time frame, there was $3 million in autism Medicaid claims in 2018. And $399 million by 2023, 2018 versus 2023. Mm-hmm. So just do the math. If you take 339 divided by 3, that's how many thousands of autism kids that they were claiming. Don't know if they are or if they're not, but they're certainly juicing the numbers, right?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Look, we have to try to get to the bottom of this. But, Gary, isn't it reasonable that a good bit of this is we're better at diagnosing, we're tagging them more, and we have the spectrum so somebody can be very mild and have autism?
I will grant you that, yes. But I will say that you are old enough and I am old enough to go right to where RFK goes. You don't know anybody or can remember anybody in your grade school that was. I barely do. And I doubt that, I barely do. But Henry, and I don't know how old Sean is, I think that they do know people that are autistic.
You do, Henry?
No, I guess not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, several.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Sean does. Several. Okay. Well, we have to shift up crowds here. Give one of those guys to Henry's side so he knows one and you know one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the answer to the side question today is we're going in. It's a Thursday. I know today's Friday, but it's a Thursday. We're eating dinner. ABC News is telling us tomorrow there's a chance of light rain, and the next thing you know, we wake up and there's too much snow to even go out the front door. We have an automatic snow day. The snow day, when you didn't expect it, is underrated.
That is unbelievable. Well, I like the nuance. That is a great underrated. And Gary, an enemy of mankind, in addition to the Communist Chinese Party, are these people that say kids should go to Zoom school when it's a snow day. They're the enemy of mankind.
I think they should. I don't even want to comment on that one. I would probably profanity.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really. Notice what he said too. That it's unexpected. It wasn't like snow's coming. Maybe I'll have
yeah.
Oh, the unexpected snow day. The last minute, you hear that? No, did you grow up in the era where they had a number and you heard the number?
No. It was more like watching the Chiron on the bottom of the screens. If your school came up with it, whether it said open, 2-hour delay, or closed.
Well, in the one school district I taught, they were very slow. They were going to wait these others out. You'd see minutes gone by. The school district next door declares, and suddenly they declare. Well, they did it. You know,
that's still how it goes.
That's right. Yeah, it's like ABC News or something. Okay, they did it. We can do it now.
It's a herd mentality.
Exactly. All right, so 855-839-1210. Coming up, our buddy, Dr. E.J. Antoni. What does he say about the new Trump accounts? Unemployment is down, but there are a lot of financial things to run past him. We'll get to him next. You get him right now at 855-839-1210.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2. And you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're now one of the top news brands in the nation. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest-growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. Let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax. It's for real news, for real people. Make the switch today.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, it's always a good day in the neighborhood when we can talk with Dr. E.J. Antoni. Dr. Antoni, chief economist and Richard Astor Fellow in the Heritage Foundation's Grover M. Herman Center for the Federal Budget. Yes, cue the joke. That's got to be blocks long if you're covering the federal budget. Let's see if Dr. Antoni knew about the caviar in there. Hey, E.J., welcome back to Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us.
Dom, always a pleasure. Great to be back with you.
Well, I want to test your knowledge base of this. I just had on the great investigative reporter. Listeners sent me this early today, and I know the Trump administration's trying to curtail government, cut down on the excesses. More than apparently, EJ, you can buy caviar while on food stamps.
Oh, Dom, it's a lot worse than that. I mean, it's actually, I think it's a shorter list of what you can't buy on food stamps.
You can get some wine. There's wine on there.
People, people go into a grocery store, and I've literally seen it personally. It's not just that this is anecdotal. It shows up in the macro level data too, where people will go in and buy things like lobster tail with their food stamps. I mean, like, Dom, just to give like some further perspective as to how bad the abuses are on food stamps, a full two-thirds of the adults on food stamps right now are able-bodied but not working. They're not disabled. They can work. They're choosing not to. That's an absolute disgrace. In my mind, that is fraud. I understand they may be following the letter of the law, but certainly not the spirit of the law.
Exactly right. And I did see, and this is very underreported, you probably have talked about it, maybe even with me, U.S. jobless numbers hit a 30-year low over Thanksgiving, 30-year low.
Yeah, I mean, this is really incredible. And look, for a couple of caveats, I will add just for like disclosure or whatever. The weekly jobless claims, it's very volatile data, okay? It can be up one week and then down the next, and it's also very difficult to adjust for seasonality around Christmas time because you have a lot of people, for example, jumping into the labor market to get some extra money, so they have, Christmas spending money essentially, right? So, okay, all that aside, this was a massive drop, way more than you could expect from something like the off changes with seasonality. And so you have to say, all right, what on earth is causing these numbers to be so low? And I think immigration policy probably has a lot to do with it, where stores no longer are able to hire illegal aliens, people who have either been deported or are now self-deporting. The administration is making it harder for the people who shouldn't be here to get work. And so Americans are filling those jobs. And just for some further perspective, Dom, in terms of how low this number is, it's the lowest since, I think, 2022, but that was just kind of a 1 month and off month that year. You have to go all the way back to the 70s to find another month that was, or another week, I should say, that was this low. And if you adjust for the size of the labor force, which has obviously gone up over time, this was, I think, the lowest on record, which goes back to like the 60s. So this was the smallest percent of the labor force filing initial unemployment claims on record. That's noteworthy. Again, I understand there's problems with seasonality here, and the data set is volatile, but this is still a noteworthy datum point.
Absolutely. And EJ, to that point, thank God we have you. Vance is doing yeoman's work on this, linking part of the housing problem, which is just this really existential problem with young adults, to illegal immigration. And the more that we see self-deportation and deportation, that's going to free up some housing and maybe at least renting costs. There's going to be some relief just due to that.
Well, that's exactly right, Dom. And look, if you want to know what's going on in rental markets in real time, you just can't use the government's official data because it incorporates about a 6-month lag. So that's terrible numbers to use. It's not going to tell you what's going on today. It's looking in the rearview mirror. But if we're actually going to a source like Trueflation, where I'm an advisory board member, they observe literally millions of prices a day, and that includes real estate sites and brokerages and other places where you can get real-time rental data. Those rents are plummeting. They're falling by the fastest rates in literally years, actually decades. So rent prices are coming down really, really fast. Why is that? Maybe it's because we're deporting all of these people who shouldn't have even been here in our country in the first place. If you import over 10 million people in only a few years, those people got to have somewhere to live, right?
Exactly.
Think of it, Dom. You basically brought in the equivalent of the population of New Jersey, the most densely populated state in the union, right over the Delaware River from where you are. And I understand they didn't all go to New Jersey. It's not like you doubled that state's population. It was spread out for better or for worse around the country. But what do you think that increase in demand for housing did to the housing market? It obviously pushed up prices.
Exactly. Now, EJ, the president gets it on this, and I don't think it would be your area to handle it. It would be more mine, communication on this, to say, Mr. President, stop saying it's a hoax, the affordability thing. We got to deal with this. So he's going to be on the road. He's coming to Pennsylvania. We think he's in northeastern Pennsylvania. If you were along, you're advising him on this. How are you approaching it? Because you take into account the economics, but also the human side. The economic side, they got it. They're drilling down cafe standards, Ozempic even. They're hitting out there at everything possible. But then he sits there and says, well, this is really a hoax. That's the package with Trump that we have to deal with. What would you be advising him to hit, though, in this campaign?
Well, Dom, I think there's 3 points. First, we got here because of Biden.
Right.
Biden created this mess. It was Biden. It was the big spenders in Congress, some of whom were Republican, let's be honest. But those were the people who brought us over the course of 4 years the cost of living crisis. It did not magically arrive in January of 2025 when Trump took office, okay? So that's how we got here. However, Trump has made progress in reversing that. Things have gotten better this year. Under Biden, we've talked about this before, what you could buy with your weekly paycheck on average, some people were worse, some people were better, but on average it fell 4% while he was in office. Since Trump took office, it's gone up about 1%. So you can buy 1% more. For those playing along at home, that means you're still down roughly 3%, right? And that brings us to the third thing, which is there's still a long way to go. Life is not affordable yet for the average American. Things got really bad because of Biden. They're getting a little better under Trump, but even though it's progress, there's still a long way to go. We haven't done enough. We haven't seen enough progress. Things are moving quickly in the right direction, but again, that's not enough, and we're not going to rest on our laurels and say, all right, we made a little bit of progress, we can stop here. No, the cost to own a home, the monthly mortgage payment on a median price home, more than doubled in less than 4 years. That is unacceptable in the United States of America. We have to make more progress in getting that back down and making it so that young people can afford a home again.
Absolutely. Now, on healthcare, EJ, I'm not sure this is an area it's not just economics, it's also the politics of it. I see any number of Republicans getting very anxious. Some of the numbers, if they're correct, of what will happen if the Obamacare subsidy doesn't continue for at least a year are enormous. And is it true, in your view, that any number of them are potentially people that supported Trump, not just Democrats on the other side? And if that happens, they're afraid we have December 31st to do something. The midterms are going to be rough.
Well, but Dom, why do we assume there's not going to be any response? In other words, all these subsidies go away, right? And now all of a sudden people see what healthcare really costs. And so a lot of people now are not going to be able to afford the plans that they had before. So if you're an insurance company and all of a sudden all these subsidies go away and now nobody buys your insurance plan for that price, what are you going to do? You're going to have to reduce your price.
Wait a minute. Right? Let me ask you, EJ, we're on to something good here. So let me ask you, short term, though, would they, or is there going to be a lag, and that's where the Republicans get killed?
Well, of course there's going to be a lag, but the question is, how long is that lag going to be? Do you really think an insurance company is going to sit back for an entire year and not adjust their prices while they get literally no one signing up and no one therefore paying them premiums? That's not a very good business model. They're going to have to adapt relatively quickly to this. Now,
you mean a matter of 2-3 months, something like that, by the spring, you would see the adaptation?
I think so. Now, what will help ensure that adaptation actually happens, though, Dom, is if you get more regulatory reform, and this is where the administration as well as the Congress need to act here and make it so that insurers have more flexibility on the kinds of plans that they offer.
Exactly.
Look, when it comes to health insurance, what we really need is the equivalent of like what we have for car insurance. We want to go back to a model where health insurance is actual insurance. It covers catastrophes, not everyday occurrences. Imagine how expensive your car insurance would be if it had to cover tire rotations and oil changes, changing your spark plugs or the different fluids, whether that's your coolant or your fluid for your transaxle or transmission. Imagine how expensive your car insurance would be if it had to cover all those things. Well, that's what we've done with health insurance. We have put all these ridiculous Obamacare mandates in place where your health insurance has to cover all these different things that you previously would just pay cash for, which is a much better system because it reduces costs for both you and your healthcare provider. And by involving middlemen in everything, what happens every time you have a middleman? You drive up costs. And that's exactly what we've seen. And furthermore, because of these crazy regulations with Obamacare, they've created this incentive for health insurance companies to basically own subsidiaries that manage all of these costs for them. And by manage the costs, I mean artificially inflate them. They create monopolies in different areas, and then they set prices artificially high. And the insurance company can say, well, it's not us setting the price. Of course not. It's another company that you own. I mean, the whole thing is a massive racket, and it's all made possible because of the regulatory framework that Obamacare created. What happened after Obamacare? Did care actually become affordable, like the name of the legislation? No. Cost went up at a new record pace.
All right, get on that hotline number you must have to the Oval Office. Whisper this all in Trump's ear. That's what I want to hear on Tuesday, EJ. Word by word.
Dom, I'm going to do my best.
Well, EJ, thank you. Have a great weekend. And where do we find you until the next time?
Best place is going to be on X, and the handle there is @RealEJAntoni.
Thank you, EJ. Have a nice weekend. Thank you very much.
You too, Dom.
Now, I'd love to have him on, Henry. I'm serious, sir, if you could pull it off, along with Jeff Van Drew, because Van Drew's getting very nervous on this health thing and is saying, no, we got to pull out all the stops. Let alone, no, let Brian Fitzpatrick. I'll deal with Brian Fitzpatrick here. You heard what he said. Would it pass that quickly, or they're afraid? Could they actually go with Brian Fitzpatrick's plan, which would cap it at $225 family income? You know what that means for in Bucks County particularly? He's saying that we pay the Obamacare subsidies up to a family of four, $225,000 in income. If you're under that, then you get the subsidies. That's nuts. We're not going to go there. Now, EJ's is, I have to say, as much as I really respect him politically, if the Republicans do nothing to face down the health companies, thinking they'll lower the prices, oh, man, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, this is going to be, I think that they would just wait it out to see what Democrats do. And if Democrats win, they want Democrats to win. Because if they win, they're going to keep up these high prices. All right, 855-839-1210. You grab a line now. Hit us on the side question. Great one today. Simple one. The most underrated so far, that snow day you didn't see coming. This coming off, and Guy Shiraki will be here. USC is better than Georgetown, is what he said to me essentially in the text within 30 seconds. And down the hall, they're saying, yeah, we think Cole Hamels should be in the Hall of Fame. Oh, my God. It boggles the mind. The world is, if I wake up and Cole Hamels is in the Hall of Fame, that's it. I don't know.
You're going to celebrate that day. Come on.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate. Yes.
Yeah.
That somebody unworthy, even though he's a great guy, has got into the reason why people like the Hall of Fame to be that way is we want to believe it truly is the best. So, all right, if Cole Hamels goes in, I want to be there. I'll take it out. I want to take the scooter, Phil Rizzuto's plaque out of there. It's got to be a limit. Take his out. All right, you want to put him in. He's more worthy. Okay, get him out of there. What was he? A banjo hitter? Not even a banjo. What's smaller than a banjo? Why do they say a guy's a banjo hitter?
Mandolin.
A mandolin hitter. Yeah, Phil Rizzuto was a mandolin hitter. The Mendoza, the Rizzuto line. Mendoza's not in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, at least Cole Hamels won a World Series MVP.
I could see a guy, one of these analysts, saying, all right, let me look at Mendoza. I'll find a nugget here and say he was a valuable player. How about his OPS, ABC, and Z? It was good. The Mendoza line. How would you like to have that named after you? It's a great honor.
I feel like Cole Hamels would have something like that associated with him if he did go in the Hall of Fame.
He would.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Oh, this guy's a total
imagine.
Cole Hamels or something.
Yeah,
He's a total Hamels.
Exactly. He's a total machete among producers. 855. Well, it could mean good. Yeah.
All right.
He's the Dom Giordano of
in the
talk
context
shows.
we were just talking about, it didn't seem that good.
He's the Dom Giordano of talk shows. 855-839-1210. Grab a line on Talk Radio 1210. Let me do Dr. Bentz here for a moment. My good friend, personal dental specialist and board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz. And we've been telling you, and let me just explain this. It's great news to share. His daughter, Dr. Emily Bentz, prosthodontist, has successfully challenged and completed her board certification. This is no small feat. So it means when you go there, you have not one, but two prosthodontists with over 11 years of training and 33 years of experience between them. Thrilling to know Dr. Emily Bentz joins Dr. Bentz, providing the best in customized and innovative care for the most complex dental cases, sometimes like mine. In addition to the exceptional general dentistry, those services provided by Dr. Sarah Cooley Bentz, it's a true family affair. So when you have an issue that requires highly specialized care, perhaps a second opinion, I encourage you to do what I did. Get that initial appointment now. Call Dr. Bentz, the Bentz Dental Group, 610-272-6949. Maybe you haven't exhausted your dental benefit yet. If you have that, right? It's the time of the year. The clock's ticking. Give them a call. Visit their website, bentzdentalgroup.com, B-E-N-T-Z dentalgroup.com.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Searching for a new path to wellness? Dr. Molly Fantasia explains how medical hydration therapy can help you reclaim your energy. Listen to Health Watch, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Dawn Stensland here with my secret to keeping warm while I'm hosting and reporting live on some of our city's biggest winter events and parades, thanks to my heat holder thermal socks, gloves, and base layers. 7 times warmer than regular socks, and they are great gifts with flannel or microplush comfy PJs, vests, and blankets. Heatholders.com, free shipping with orders over $25, 15% off with promo code DAWN1210. Heatholders.com, tell them DAWN1210 sent you.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. I've been talking about myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
It's here. B101 is transformed into Philly's official Christmas station. Relax and unwind with your holiday favorites 24 hours a day, all the way through Christmas. Tell your smart speaker to play B101.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Nick, what are you doing?
Well, Adam, Thanksgiving is over, so it's officially time for the holidays.
And it's time for our Legacy Box Cyber Monday sale. Legacy Box is the most meaningful gift you can give this holiday season. It's simple, safe, and has been trusted by millions.
That's right. It's our best sale of the year. Right now, when you go to LegacyBox.com, you can save an unreal 65% on your Legacy Box.
And for a limited time, you can preserve your tapes, film reels, and photos for as low as $27, saving you hundreds.
Hurry, our best sale of the year won't last long. Visit LegacyBox.com for an unreal 65% off during our Cyber Week sale. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast.
Shop our Cyber Week sale now at LegacyBox.com/value to take 65% off. Buy your Legacy Box today and send in when you're ready. LegacyBox.com/value.
If you haven't made a dentist appointment this year, you still have this month to schedule an appointment with my friend, my dentist, Dr. Mike Veneria. Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Why Dr. Mike, you ask? He's the best. For over 12 years in a row, Dr. Mike has been recognized by his peers as a master of complex dentistry. That's right. He treats other doctors. He's the expert the experts call to handle the complex dental surgeries and procedures. See, with Dr. Mike Veneria, it's not about cost, it's about care. His compassion and commitment to your health, that's his top priority. So make your appointment and get your free dental implant consultation today. If you've already had an estimate for one, get a second opinion. It's worth doing. And don't forget, as the year's almost over, check your remaining benefits. You could have benefits ready to expire that you can use towards your dental procedure. 856-786-2020. VeneriaDental.com. VANARIA, my buddy, my dentist, Dr. Mike Veneria, VeneriaDental.com.
Start your collectible coin journey today with the first ever Seuss coin. Hip, hip, hooray! The Grinch is here for all to see. DrSeussCoins.com kicks off your collecting spree. Now, for the first time ever, Rare Collectibles TV has licensed Dr. Seuss's beloved creations, making them come to life on collectible, adorable coins. Don't wait, or you'll be too late. Get yours today before they're gone forever. Only 5,000 examples have been minted. Each Grinch coin is made from 1 ounce of pure .999 fine silver and is in perfect condition. Give the gift of wonder and enchantment to your kids or your grandkids. Just go to DrSeussCoins.com to start this whimsical coin journey today with the limited edition Silver Grinch coin. That's DrSeussCoins.com, DrSeussCoins.com.
All right, it is Dom time, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is push pound 1210. As you know, we have the side question every day. Where do they come from? Well, just if you're observant enough, it's right there in front of you. Today is something that's underrated. Yesterday, we got into wildly, how in the world is USC a top-rated college, one that is very difficult to get into? And Guy Shiraki was listening, instantly texts me some stats, and he thinks they're slightly better than Georgetown and some. For example, USC, and that's where today's side question comes from, which is simply something that's underrated. Also was in my mind, because down the hall, Spike Eskin, the afternoon show, they were talking, they had an expert on the other day, basically saying Cole Hamels belongs in the Hall of Fame. What the heck is up with that? And they threw out one stat they thought was compelling, which was pretty good. Among the pitchers in there, he has the 5th best per 9-inning strikeout record of people in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I get that. I'm not dismissing everything. I might like to debate this guy. But the broader question is standards here. So we're looking for something that is underrated. Person, place, or thing. That's the side. The other big stories, too, caviar is now being advertised. If you're on food stamps, you can buy caviar. Like, who knew? I get it. The lobster tail, E.J. Antonio, oh, do you know you can get lobster tail? What is the food right now? Is it still caviar? Certain things stick. For example, if we did a side on this, Henry, I say intelligence. If you had to point to a person and say, he's no Henry Machette, or who would you say he's no?
He's no Einstein.
Yes, it's still there. Or brain surgeon.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we're still doing. Certain things stick. Others used to be he's no blank, and they go away. Einstein's not going away. I would say caviar is not going away. It's exotic to people.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And
it's what you get at a fancy cocktail party. Like, ooh, they have caviar here.
That's $80 an ounce, and you can buy that on food stamps. All right, let's go to Guy Shiraki, see what he has to say for himself here on Talk Radio 1210. I might also say, Guy, that you know fairly well, Scott Jennings, you worked in the Bush campaign. You had Pennsylvania. He had New Mexico in the 2004 campaign, right?
We did, and Scott, as he always does, delivers. If you go back to the dark ages of 2004, New Mexico was a swing state, and Scott was the manager, and I was the manager in Pennsylvania. President Bush carried New Mexico by 0.5 of a point back when Arizona was a safe Republican state, and New Mexico and Colorado were swing states.
Wow.
But as always, Scott delivered. Scott delivered New Mexico. We fell 2 points short in Pennsylvania. But it was Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Florida. And the goal was to carry 2. And sort of like the guys that landed at Normandy, some of them didn't make it. We landed at Normandy, and we protected Ohio and Pennsylvania. So we felt as though we contributed.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. So you'll be there. It's Cherokee country. We're out there in Chester County. We're hoping that Houlihan, who you know pretty well, you ran against her. She's making moves and indicate to me she wants to be more prominent, maybe run against Fetterman. She interrupts the speaker, not in the usual course of things, but when he's calling on reporters. Then she gets involved in this PSA, if you will, out of the blue. And she's been, I would say, more, if not strident, approaching that on all this stuff than she's been before.
Yeah, well, she used to like me during COVID. She used to have me when I was the chamber president. She used to have me on some of her town halls when there was a national chamber event. She asked me to introduce her to the audience. Then I decided to run for office, and I became a horrible MAGA Republican. But, I'm a big boy. That stuff happens.
Yeah, exactly. So Guy, yesterday,
she clearly, I think she's posturing. The challenge for her is that, look, she has the resume, and she's the best fundraiser in the delegation other than John Fetterman until recently with his issues, is that she always steps up just to the edge of the line, just, gets ready to get in the batter's box. She's always on the on-deck circle swinging the bat, as we talk about the Hall of Fame, but she never gets into the batter's box. She was supposed to run for governor and didn't. She was supposed to run for Senate and didn't. Maybe she now feels secure enough in the seat out here that she's looking for other things. It's a shame that she's doing it through this sort of virtue signaling nonsense, because there's some real issues where she could lead or build bridges, but that's not the way she chooses to do things, which is one of the reasons I decided to run.
So, Guy, amazingly, and this is the best of talk radio, you're instantaneously sending me USC statistics. So do you think USC is a cut above Georgetown?
I think they see themselves in that world, and the admissions rates are, it's actually slightly harder. I think what's been going on in higher ed is 2 things. One is we've lost track at how hard it is to get into some of these so-called elite schools. And USC is not in the Ivy League, but it's in that next tier with, I think, Georgetown, Stanford, Michigan. USC is seen as the prominent one there. But we haven't realized is how few kids really get in. And when they start doing not only legacy admissions, but all these DE&I admissions, I mean, the last thing you want to be is sort of a garden variety A student, from St. Joe's Prep. I'm not sure they're taking a lot of A students from St. Joe's Prep because they're too busy taking legacy, celebrities, kids, and unfortunately, there's special admissions, which is why these same schools are now doing remedial math classes and remedial reading classes, which, Harvard doesn't call them that, but you and I know what Harvard's doing is offering remedial math classes because their students can't hack college level math, yet they're supposed to be the creme de la creme, and they're not.
Guy, one parting area, and Guy, you will be out there on Tuesday night. After all, it's Chester County with Scott Jennings. So in what universe can people go around seriously saying Cole Hamels should be in the Hall of Fame?
So, all right, grain of salt. I went to fantasy camp last year, and I'm going back this year. And when we played the veterans, the person who pitched to me was Cole Hamels.
Oh, okay.
And I was able. My pride moment was I fouled off a pitch and then actually popped out to him, but I put the bat on the ball. I like Cole Hamels, and John Foley, who's a good follow on Twitter, will tell you Cole Hamels, ranked up against the other 69 starting pitchers, is in the middle of the pack of who's already there. And when it comes to strikeouts per 9 innings, is in the top 5 in the history of baseball. I'm biased because I'm going to see him again at fantasy camp, but I think there's an argument to be made. His strikeouts per 9 innings are in the top 5 in the history of baseball.
Let me bring this all home. And I don't know that Scott Jennings knows Cole Hamels, but Jennings' claim to fame, when all said and done, Guy, is this. He says to the Democrats, you seriously want to have males in locker rooms and playing against females, and you're a girls' softball coach extraordinaire. How can I take you seriously on taxes and health care when you're saying that? So, Guy, how are we going to have you on when we're seriously hearing you saying Cole Hamels should be in the Hall of Fame? That's it. My God.
His strikeouts per 9 innings places him fifth in the history of baseball. Fifth in the history of baseball. Strikeouts per 9 innings.
So that's a new metric.
I would have you know that Scott Jennings, a year from now, to bring this back to baseball and pitching, Scott Jennings, a year from now, may be sitting in the chair of former Senator Jim Bunning.
That's true.
So I think it's only fitting that we're talking about Cole. Look, I'm biased because I've met him and he's been nothing but a magnanimous guy.
Yeah.
But I think there's a case to be. Look, I think we lived through. I was blessed as a kid growing up in South Philly. My dad had tickets. I sat 100 feet from Mike Schmidt and watched his career and didn't appreciate the greatness of what I was watching. I think just as recently, we lived through Rollins, Howard, Utley, and Hamels.
Wait a minute. All four of them are Hall of Famers then, right?
I think the case for Utley and Rollins and Hamels is very strong. I think Chase Utley had perhaps the greatest 6-year run of any second baseman in his era and in this century. Jimmy Rollins' numbers are comparable with most of the shortstops. I'm just saying, I think we have recency. I think we have recency prejudice. I think because we watched them, we don't recognize how special they were.
Do I hear a column coming on instead of recency bias, recency prejudice? I hear the column, Henry. You're going to see it by Monday. Yes. All right. Well, Guy.
I think they're there. Look, hey, and you'll appreciate a few doors away from the Colonial, Vecchia Pizza. You can go get your pizza and get it with arugula, maybe even a fried egg on it if you'll ask them nicely. A few doors away from the Colonial, you can get all the fancy pizzas you want just a few doors away.
Now wait a minute. Is it a pineapple joint, though? Do they put pineapple on it?
No. I would not go. If there was pineapple on it or Spam or any of that stuff, no. But a little arugula, maybe some prosciutto on occasion. But it's excellent. Vecchi is just a few doors away. Excellent. And, hey, I'm going to give you a long shot for underrated. May I do that?
Yeah, go right ahead.
You're
sure.
Underappreciated? I think, again, Philadelphia bias, which is the other column after recency prejudice, is bias. I think that Rocky is underappreciated for the great movie it was. I think we think of it now as the song and the steps. I think it is a story of an underdog. It's a love story. It's a growing up story. I think Rocky is a top 20 all-time movie, and I think those of us in Philadelphia just think of it for the song and the steps. So I think that Rocky, in a strange way, the fact that we're talking about it 50 years later, I think it is underappreciated as a great movie.
All right, Guy, thank you. We'll see you on Tuesday night. I would agree, but not top 20 of all. See how crazy we get here? Cole Hamels is in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, I have that. I had that tweet in front of me right here.
Yeah.
I've had it. ERA plus, he's 30th all time. Strikeouts, 23rd. WHIP, 33rd.
Oh, my
WAR,
God.
49th. Ks per 9, 5th. Walks over 9, 46th. Hits per 9, 23rd. You tell me top 50 in all of those categories, not a Hall of Famer?
Oh, God. It's the eye test, and then it's the mentality test when you're coming through playing. And if you don't have that while you're playing, I don't know how post-on we suddenly get it. But, my God, I feel like I'm in Cuba, and it's a revolution taking over here. All righty. I think Jennings likes baseball. I may work that in. Don't forget, get those tickets, 1210WPHT.com. And you heard Guy's recommendation for pizza. I don't know about putting an egg on it. That kind of spoiled it.
You don't like an egg?
No, arugula. Yeah, I'll go with that.
I like
the
egg with the arugula.
Yeah.
I think it's a great combo.
I don't know. We're taking Scott Jennings out to dinner, so I'm not sure. I guess in Phoenixville. That's Rose cooking. No, that might not work. We have to work into the schedule. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Henry recommendation out in Chester County. Well, suppose we invite Christy Houlihan. I think Scott Jennings would be fine with you. Imagine the stuff that would go on there, particularly now, Houlihan and Scott Jennings. Oh, man. You got to be there for this, though. It's a lot of fun, the politics and the pints part. Join us, 1210WPHT.com. All right, coming to your calls. Guys was a very good one. Yeah, Rocky underappreciated. This woman, Stephanie Farr, is making a career at the Philadelphia Inquirer attacking Rocky. Don't think Art Museum, I didn't notice it. Henry, they didn't do anything this year. They said, well, it's the 49th year. We're going to wait to the 50th.
Yeah, we'll compile all the data we need over the next year.
Yeah, they just celebrate Rocky. It's fun. People love it still. Even in Philadelphia, they did.
I had friends who did the run. It's great.
The run, yeah. The run's become a big thing. And I thought this was the week somehow or another when he came to town. I may be a little bit off. It's around now. Oh, no, Trump can't come to town. He's a celebrity friend of Trump. So what? Hey, by the way, today, before Henry gets started with this, you can join me because our sponsor, the Navy League of Philadelphia, is our sponsor for Money Melody. Join me for the Army-Navy game December 13th at Manayunk Brewery. Enjoy prizes along with great food and drink specials throughout the game. Tickets are just $15 at NavyLeaguePhilly.org. All proceeds go to Navy League Philadelphia to support our local Sea Service members. And yes, if you support Army, you'll be let in. I'm a homer. I'll be interviewing people. Look at what Navy's doing. I think that quarterback should be in the College Hall of Fame. I'll be ready. But thanks to these guys, Navy League are tremendous. And right now, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Has all the money gone?
All right, and Henry and I are onto something. There's a local radio station, Henry, compiling, I think they have the top 839 or so cover songs of all time. We're digging into this. We may play some as we get into the holidays. What is the best, maybe even better than the original of a major song, like somebody who did it? I have bias toward the person that owns it and does it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know how you go the rest of your life. If you had that song, you did it first, and then someone came along and was like, oh, what if you did it like this? How much better would that sound? And it sounds
I got a bias
better.
against that. Even if technically it's better, I don't like it. But it's a big
must
deal.
suck to be Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan is, yeah, exactly. He's number one on it of covers, of people that have covered. So, Henry, what do you have today?
Yeah, Dom, so going off of covers and going off our side question today, something that's underrated. How about I bring you a cover of an underrated band? It's only fitting, right? So, the Kinks, I feel like were left out of the best band discussion when that was happening in the 60s, between the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. They didn't get that same shine, partially because they had a U.S. touring band for over 4 years in the late 60s. And I guess their music being a little too English and UK-ish didn't really resonate quite with the U.S. crowd quite yet until years later. So I'm going to play one of their hit songs, Lola. However, it is a cover version of that song.
Okay.
So I want to know the name or the language or the country in which it hails from. Some things about this country is that I'd say it's a pretty underrated country. It's one of the fastest growing major economies in the world. It's got an insanely rich culture, a very historic culture, and it's only been independent since the mid 20th century. So I'm going to play you this.
Yes.
Yeah. So this country here, I want to know the name of it or one of the languages being spoken in the song. Let's take a listen. Yeah, Dom, want the language or the country in which this cover of Lola comes from.
All right, and if you win, you'll get a pair of reserved tickets to 1210 WPHT's Politics and Pints with Scott Jennings, hosted by me on Tuesday, November 9th at the Colonial Theater in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. For tickets and information, visit 1210WPHT.com, 1210WPHT.com. Get in right now. And we'll see you on Tuesday night, 855-839-1210.
This is the energy of the Acura RDX. The energy of performance and adventure. With super handling all-wheel drive. The Acura RDX. This is the energy of innovation. Acura. Precision crafted performance.
Visit Piazza Acura of Ardmore, Reading, or Westchester for a test drive today.
The year's almost over. Now is the perfect time to refresh the rooms you use the most with Kitchen Magic. This December, take 30% off kitchen cabinet refacing and 50% off bathroom installations. Huge savings right when you need them. And here's the best part. You can lock in 2025 pricing before the new year, so your dream kitchen or bath stays affordable no matter when you start your project. Kitchen Magic is family-owned, proudly made in the USA, and completely tariff-proof, bringing you quality you can trust since 1979. Visit kitchenmagic.com and make your home holiday ready before these savings disappear.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. I want you to come away with me to stunningly beautiful Portugal for 10 days next spring. If you've loved our past events, go to conservativetours.com. This one is the best ever in my opinion. We will spend these days together touring the wineries, rivaling the best in Europe, private Portuguese escort for the event along with 4-star accommodations. $57.38, yes, that includes your airfare from Philadelphia, the Bellum Tower, Geronimo's Monastery, the fun of just strolling Alfama's cobblestone passages, just brimming with those seafood restaurants, Abidos and Fatima, the elegance of Coimbra. Call now, 888-733-9494. Conservativetours.com, Spain and Italy. What an incredible trip. Conservativetours.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
B101 is spreading holiday cheer throughout Philly. Tune in for the soundtrack to your Christmas season, featuring all the holiday songs you love. Christmas music all day, every day, only on B101, Philly's official Christmas station.
Harry, if you watch any more of those stupid financial shows, I'm filing for divorce.
How am I going to keep up with our retirement accounts?
At JML Financial Group, we want you watching your grandkids playing soccer and sunsets in Hawaii. not the latest rumor of a market crash. Surprisingly, with proper income planning, the stock market shouldn't even be a concern. The money came in every 2 weeks while you worked. It should be the same in your retirement years. Let us show you how. Call JML Financial Group today at 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. So, when your neighbor's sunbathing in the front yard,
Harry, you're an idiot. Get away from the window.
keep your eyes focused where they should be, on enjoying your retirement. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company. Lexus of Cherry Hill, an elite of Lexus dealer and an 8-time J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. Why would you buy your Lexus from anyone else? The 2026 Lexus models are here and moving fast. The amazing team at Lexus of Cherry Hill are your source for the Lexus of your dreams. Over 300 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Face it, you deserve a Lexus and you deserve award-winning customer service. Start your journey at LexusofCherryHill.com.
For J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, we got today's side question going on. Dom's Money Melody, the Navy League. Thank you for bringing that every day. Here's the clue. What country, what language, covering Lola? All right, so I go to Jerry first because we get this a little, in order. Jerry?
Yes.
Okay, Jerry in Wilmington, Talk Radio 1210. Okay. All right, just tell me which guy I'm going to first here.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, Jerry. Okay, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dom. What are we looking for, the country or the singer? Or?
We're looking for the country.
Language or the country?
Language or country, Jerry.
Pakistani?
Okay, yeah, it might be fairly close.
In the neighborhood.
Joe in Bordentown?
It would be India.
Yeah, I was going to say Winston Churchill reference there, Henry, but then I thought it's got to be India. Yeah, mid-century independence, cultural. Not a good place to visit, though, I don't think.
I didn't say that.
I use Seinfeld references there. Who would go to India? Remember the Indian couple they had. All right, so Joe's the winner, and Joe is getting a pair of reserved seats to 1210's WPHT, Politics and Pints. By the way, the winner of the week will also get that this week when we decide at the end of the hour. It's been a great week for the side question. Maybe the star is the one, Henry, we talked about, either the gamble, what was the other, that I thought, this might be pretty good, but we were flooded. Gamble turned out really good. All right, by the way, too, just holding up youtube.com/1210. Don't forget, you get your ticket. You get that top tier, the meet and greet with Scott Jennings. You get the book, and you get the very limited edition Talk Radio 1210 Christmas ornament. Looks really good. You can see it on Twitter, too, but you can see it here live if you're on YouTube. And it'll be a great night meeting Scott Jennings. That's the tier you want to get. Invest in that one. But there are great seats still available for reserved seating. 7:30 this coming Tuesday at the Colonial. I can't guarantee Chrissy Houlihan showing up, but we'd be thrilled. That's what it's all about. Can you imagine Scott Jennings, saliva? Scott, put on the bib. Put on the bib right there. That would make national news incredibly, And what I would do is I'd let Jennings go with that. I'm not going to jump into the ring until Chrissy Houlihan is fully engaged, and then it'll be, I don't think she would do it. She interrupts everybody else. Henry, what would be your response? Is that Chrissy Houlihan coming in? She'll make sure you know what she looks like, that face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hard to miss her.
Better than that, Madeline Dean and Chrissy Houlihan. Now we're dealing with
dynamic duo. Yeah,
dynamic duo.
One came through like the front door.
Yeah, they were at the same time. And Scott
the
Jennings, yeah. And Jennings, in his book, I was just reading last night, says, going around the country, people say, come on, Scott, it's not fair. Do you think it's fair, the show you're on CNN? He says, no, they would need 2 or 3 more liberals at the table at once. I could see them trying this. All right, one of you guys, and then the host is in on it. I'm going to go to you. Whoever's hot that looks like you're stunning, Scott Jennings here. He does give credit and says, look, it's reasonable debating people like the Axelrod, and Van Jones. And I see when he's on, there's a deference between all parties. They don't do it. But when Dylan Douglas jumps into the ring, this is like wrestling. Vince McMahon announces him, and suddenly he gets pancaked by Scott Jennings. Zeta Jones then jumps into the ring. They could have a whole wrestling angle. I bet CNN is exploring that. All right, the Douglases, you can come on with them. Oh, my God. The elderly Michael Douglas, he said on my show the other day. All right, Robert in Bensalem's next on Talk. Oh, by the way, Fox just reporting, and this is, we had on the guy, Henry got the guy who really, investigative reporter, the Manhattan Institute, really broke this whole Somali story, really got people to have to cover what they were producing. Now Fox is reporting the guesstimate is not $1 billion in fraud. It's about $8.5 billion in fraud. And if you ever have any doubts, look, there are times I was just critical when Trump's saying it's a hoax, the affordability thing. Stop saying that. Just stop saying that. But Trump's instincts were the Afghani thing, even though we had the National Guard killed, right? Major story, major thing. Go at the Somalis. $8.5 billion plus has been robbed from us. $8.5 billion. Now, this issue is going to have legs. People are not going to put up with this. They don't care that it's just in Minnesota and all that. They know it's all taxpayer money. $8.5 million is the guesstimate. Let's go to, and Henry, you can give me something on this, that the Trump administration just unveils new national security doctrine moments ago. I didn't know they were going to do that. In other words, what is the core of this? We'll tell you about that, and it's going to be where they're going to spend their money. Robert in Bensalem, Talk Radio 1210. Robert, thanks for the wait. Go right ahead.
No problem, Dom. Henry, good to talk to you guys today. And in my effort to always help our great mainstream media, I would like to report it's now been 6 months with no illegal crossings for the first time probably in history, and it's now been 5 months of wage growth outpacing inflation for the first time since the potato head took office. So he's making a lot of progress, and the media is not reporting it at all. And it's, that's par for the course, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if we differ. When he comes to Pennsylvania, and we're on it to get the surrogates on this week to start the tour on affordability, I wouldn't go overboard about saying hoax and all the rest of it. Don't go there. Don't do that. Talk about Biden in great detail, what he did. Talk about what you're doing, and then give some timelines. By this, we'll have a better chance to cut inflation, et cetera, Robert. Do not go with it that it's a hoax, not a winner.
We should be doing what you just said all the time, even when it's not coming from Trump.
Right.
We should have been doing that in the 2022 election. We should have been doing that in the municipal election, because Democrats make Trump an issue every time, and we don't. I don't get that, but I don't want to take too much time. And for my answer for the side question, I'm going to go back to the basics, Dom. I'm going to go to the OG of underrated, and that would be the tortoise against the hare. I saw that play when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure I was yelling at the rabbit saying, if you'd stop putzing around, you could win this thing. But it was a good memory for me.
And Robert, I think you share some of this. I'm the ultimate admirer of people that are incrementalists. And boy, is there a bigger incrementalist than the tortoise.
And the turtle. Strong and steady wins the race, right?
Exactly right. Exactly. Thank you, Robert.
Have a great weekend, you guys.
Thank you. Gaining an inch here and there. I mean, think of how competitive the NFL is. It's about that rather than something gaudy once you arrive at a certain level. All right. So it's 855-839-1210. We're looking to get a winner. You heard how we got onto the underappreciated, underrated, and I'm still spinning. This just came, maybe because I haven't been following this, about Cole Hamels. And and Guy's got a picture of him and Cole Hamels up there. You're right. It's not helping his.
It's not helping Cole Hamels' case.
No, I'm looking at this. Cole Hamels has him by like a foot there, and I'm thinking,
yeah.
And he put the bat on the ball there.
Yeah,
I'm showing that tape to the members. If I'm the other side guy, that comes up for the vote. Here's Guy Shiraki hitting the ball against Cole Hamels. He's out.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Guy, I'm sorry. I need you going down versus Cole in 3 pitches. And
yeah,
exactly. You look silly.
Yeah, like you're not even within 5 feet of them. You know who the new star is? I got to play him again coming up. This guy, Jim Himes, a Democrat from Connecticut. You've seen him on cable a lot, saying it's not Pablo Escobar out there. Why are we doing what we're doing with the Venezuelans? That seems to be where Democrats are going to go with this. Could he debate Tom Cotton? Tom Cotton has zero charisma. But you know what? He would be an unbelievable vice president or president. I don't know if he'll ever run. Just a brilliant guy, and he's right on the mark here. 855-839-1210. You get in.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Dawn Stensland here with my secret to keeping warm while I'm hosting and reporting live on some of our city's biggest winter events and parades, thanks to my heat holder thermal socks, gloves, and base layers. 7 times warmer than regular socks, and they are great gifts with flannel or microplush comfy PJs, vests, and blankets. Heatholders.com, free shipping with orders over $25, 15% off with promo code DAWN1210. Heatholders.com, tell them DAWN1210 sent you.
At PJ Fitzpatrick, you don't have to pick between affordability and quality. You can get American-made windows that are beautiful, affordable, and energy efficient. PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. Plus, they provide peace of mind with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor for your new windows. You can have it all. Visit TrustPJ.com for a free design consultation. That's TrustPJ.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Cyber Monday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Cyber Monday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto-pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2, and you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're now one of the top news brands in the nation. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest-growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. Let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax. It's for real news, for real people. Make the switch today.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Police are blaming a smart car for a crash this morning which left 2 officers injured. More help for getting SEPTA Regional Rail back to full speed as 10 leased rail cars arrived from Maryland. The iconic Wonderland Pier site in Ocean City is closer to becoming a new resort hotel.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Prioritize yourself and make your dream of an attractive, healthy smile a reality at PI Dental Center. The professionals at PI Dental have been transforming patients' smiles for over 38 years. Board-certified specialists, Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, perform complex dental makeovers with their Teeth in a Day protocol, where dental implants are placed and restored with fixed teeth in just 1 day. It's time to invest in yourself. For a smile that's monumental, trust PI Dental. Visit pidentalcenter.com.
Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select Steel tools. Shop online or in store. Steel.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. Dom time here on Talk Radio 1210. You got the side question. A couple things. One, there was a hot mic moment that CNN's gone with at FIFA, the soccer thing, an embarrassment because they gave him this peace award, the president. All right, it's a bogus award from this outfit, but I maintain in his own way, we say this every time, but when it's all said and done, the number one legacy on President Trump is with America first. He's not going to put Americans on the line. There's not going to be war. He's going to use air power. We saw that with Iran. They've calmed down there. We've seen, I'm not going to put glowing peace in the Middle East. That's almost impossible with Hamas, but efforts are better around the world. And he has been a good intermediary using all kinds of leverage to stop some of these conflicts. So there's no denying that. So if they're laughing at FIFA, yeah, it is laughable. Here's, Henry, what the president said. When you look at what's happening to football in the United States, against soccer in the United States, we seem to never call it football because we have a little bit of a conflict with another thing called football. When you think about it, shouldn't it really be called football? I mean, this is football. There's no question. We'll have to come up with another name for the NFL stuff. It really doesn't make sense when you think about it. This is really football. Oh, you know, don't get dragged into these soccer people. Look, if you want to play soccer and do that, knock yourself out. I'm not going to go through the debate. It just sickens me, the whole soccer craze.
Yeah, look,
it's ridiculous.
If soccer wanted to be called football, they would have broken to the United States earlier than our game that we made up. So
that's true.
Like that's their issue. We came here first.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
And this is never going to fit us as a national sport. I make this point all the time. It's too frustrating. Scoring's too hard. When Pele, who's on my Mount Rushmore, no Cole Hamels, averaged just a hair, I think, under a goal a game, it tells you how tough that is.
Yeah.
It's not enough scoring. It's just all strategy and back and forth.
It puts me to sleep.
It does. It's just not.
And not the good kind either.
No, I mean.
Not like a golf sleep or
it's brutal. Football. I mean, hockey, at least you have hitting. There's some more scoring. And even that is not enough. All right, Henry, what do you have on this little debate we're having about the self-driving car? Apparently a Waymo or.
No, that wasn't
smart
the
car.
case. Smart car. So
what's a smart car?
You know those little like compact, like 2-seater cars. You know exactly what they are. Yeah, those are the ones that got into an accident overnight.
Why are they called a smart car?
Because I don't even remember why they're. I guess it was just the way they were built. They were electric, I'm pretty sure. They're very compact, so you can just pull them in anywhere.
Okay.
There's no issues parking ever with them. I believe that was the whole thing behind the smart car.
You know, are they affordable? Because
I don't even see them anymore.
I would love to get an even smaller car to be able to park out here.
No,
even smaller.
I think if you drive a smart car, it looks ridiculous.
Well, when you get into that space and it's not $12 a day here parking, I would consider it.
You look up a smart car and tell me if you drive around in that.
I was hoping
You
it was
got
a
caught.
robo car. It's not.
It's not a robo
Okay,
car.
all right.
No.
I thought we were
Fortunately,
onto something.
people have to drive this car. You can't blame the robots yet.
All right. Yeah, why did they mention it's a smart car then that hit the two cops?
Maybe because it's like someone still drives a smart car?
Well, the media, some
could they?
liberals in the media used to report an SUV yesterday because they don't like the SUV.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's the driver. Let's go to David in Lexington, South Carolina. How are things in North Charlie? Hi, David.
Hey, Don. How y'all doing? Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Real quick on the two subjects of earlier. As far as the SNAP benefits, and by the way, the N stands for nutrition, that's people basically taking other people's money to buy food. But, nobody knows how to spend your money better than somebody else. That's the way I see that. As far as the healthcare thing, what I would love to see is companies be incentivized by, say, being able to write off 125% of what they pay for their employees' healthcare. And then they would do it themselves. We wouldn't have to worry about the government.
All right, but with all due respect, I love E.J. Antoni. Politically, what he said there at the end, even though economically it makes sense, I don't think that's going to work out for the midterms. In other words, that the insurance companies would drop the rates if Republicans don't do it. It's going to be too big of a lag time here, Dan. And I hope, David, but I hope you probably don't know Brian Fitzpatrick. You probably sense here in Philadelphia the complicated history with him. We need this guy's seat. We need him in that seat in Bucks County. He is a winner, but he's gone too far when he wants to give people making $225,000 a year family income subsidies. Not going to be on board with that.
Yeah. Well, from my side answer, imagine you move into a neighborhood or you have a neighbor move in next to you, and you get talking about different things and say, hey, so what do you do for work? And you find out your neighbor is a mechanic.
Right.
And he's like, hey, anytime you need something done, man, just come to me. I got you covered. Nothing more underrated than a good mechanic.
Well, wait a minute. I think let me probe that a little bit. I'm in agreement with what I think you're saying. You mean like a handyman, though, not just a, quote, mechanic, right?
Well, I went with mechanic, but you're right, handyman. I mean, anything you need done, you're not having to pay someone else that might rip you off.
Right.
He's going to do it right.
That's a very underrated thing.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, a plumber, thank God, is more limited. You need to know a good plumber. You need to have a doctor, of course. And more importantly, though, he's right, a handyman / mechanic.
Yeah, mechanic.
Yeah, that's not going to rip you off. Yeah, and if it's a big thing, to tell you if the guy is ripping you off. The guy you want to eyeball.
Yeah, at worst, he's a consult. Like, is this good? No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, these answers are, oh, my God. This is beyond on brand today. Henry, we need a sounder. It wouldn't be loud. It would be a classical music sounder for this man when he's on Monday. Joe of Exton on Talk Radio 1210. I messed up. Yeah, let me go to Joe. Hey, Joe, good afternoon. What do you have this afternoon, Joe?
Yes. Hello, Dom, and good afternoon. A person whom I consider underappreciated intellectually is Melania Trump. Whereas Donald Trump explains international politics from an American point of view, Melania Trump presents world affairs from a European point of view. Plus, Melania is fluent in 6 foreign languages.
All right. And I think that last part, it's a skill I wish I had. I wish I could come on and speak Italian, then say it in English here.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit of Spanish thrown in. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That is on brand, though. The man, even Rose said that the other day. She gets what we're talking about now. Being on brand, he never misses.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted some cultured, how do I appear cultured?
I wouldn't be surprised if the whole basis of his thinking was like, all right, who is multilingual? Who can?
Yeah, exactly.
Who is someone in history?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, Melania Trump. All right, it is the lightning round. Then we'll get the winner of the week. All you have to do is get in right now at 855-839-1210. I see Henry's name up here as underrated.
Ooh.
AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is jump on board. We'll get a winner, and you'll be off to the big event this Tuesday. I don't know that Scott Jennings is underrated. He's starting really to get his due. But you want to get your tickets. And don't forget that Christmas ornament, 1210WPHT.com. All that unfolds next.
Now is the perfect time to let your savings take root at First Harvest Credit Union. Watch your money grow as you earn 3.60% annual percentage yield with a 15-month share or IRA certificate, or lock in higher earnings with a 24-month share or IRA certificate and earn 3.50% annual percentage yield. Visit firstharvestcu.com/certificates to explore these savings options and more, including our growth savings and growth checking accounts. Membership restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Hi, it's St. Nick. Nick Kale. It's almost time. Did you put it off again this year? If you're feeling squeezed with that holiday shopping list, Wawa's got you covered with gifts that don't need any wrapping. I'm talking about gift cards for the Wawa fans in your life and for the fans of top brands like Visa, Sephora, and more. Gift cards make a perfect gift for teachers, co-workers, your mailman, and at that holiday party you just remembered. For holiday shopping made easy, stop at Wawa, your one-stop gift card shop. See store for details. Gotta have a Wawa.
Hugh Douglas here. Make your tailgating holidays count with Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey at your local fine wine and good spirit stores. You can save $3 on 1.7-liter bottles of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey, along with Tennessee Honey and Fire. Also take advantage of additional holiday savings with $2 off Gentleman Jack 750s and the new Jack Daniel's Coca-Cola Variety 6-pack of ready-made drink cocktails in a can. Stock up now at your local fine wine and good spirit stores this holiday season. Celebrate responsibly.
It's that time of year again. Hi, it's George Parenti, the lead dog at the Dogs and Cats Rules stores. If you're a pet parent like I am, you know that the holidays are just as important to our four-legged kids as they are to us. At the Dogs and Cats Rules stores, our goal is to make your holiday shopping easier. When it comes to getting the cutest Christmas-themed toys, collars, and leads, we have absolutely everything. That's Dogs and Cats Rule, now with 7 convenient locations. Shop small, shop local, shop family. Happy holidays from all of us at Dogs and Cats Rule.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, it is the lightning round. Hit us with that all-time underrated, underappreciated. This coming off the Cole Hamels thing, and also I even forget now. I'm so stunned by that. What was the other? Cole Hamels and that star? Oh, USC. Oh,
yeah.
God. Bill in Palmyra. Hey, Bill, what's yours?
Dom, how are you today? Good show as usual.
Thank you.
My candidate is a guy who does not hold a cabinet position. I don't even think he holds a title, but he's part of the Trump administration, and I think he was the spearhead for the Abraham Accords, where Trump went into the belly of the beast at Saudi Arabia with Melania by his side, violating all Muslim protocols, and more than anyone is responsible for the Abraham Accords and is still sitting at the table during the Ukraine-Russia peace negotiations. And that guy is Jared Kushner.
All right, thank you, Bill. I got to admit, I'm in that camp. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see it. So maybe I'm part of the crowd that's why he's so underappreciated.
Yeah.
I just don't see
He
any.
doesn't have the title. He works in the shadows.
Oh, God. Maybe it's his speech pattern. Maybe that's what, Joe in Columbus, though, has got an all-timer here. All right, Joe, what do you have today?
First of all, it's what I've said about soccer for ages. It is not very stat-worthy. There's only a couple stats in that game, let alone scoring.
Right.
So that's why you can't do a rotisserie soccer leg.
Can you imagine? Yes.
My side answer, and I've been accused of buttering up to the judges, which I vehemently deny until today, because I was there to witness this in person. I saw Henry throw a 40-yard football, and it wasn't 40 yards. I told him, I said, Henry, that thing went every bit of 55 yards.
Yes.
Oh, my God, 55 yards.
Yes,
I got to get to
Yes.
and we have that on tape. Kirk will get that Zapruder film up.
And let me tell
We'll
you,
put it on YouTube. Henry, put it on. I'm serious on the show. We got to see that.
It was thrown. It was such a bomb that Johnny Z couldn't catch it. But I told Henry, if you can attach another, just a little bit more on that, like the distance between home plate and a little league pitcher's mound, you're in Brett Favre territory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Oh, now. My God, Henry's Brett Favre. Cole Hamels is the Hall of Fame. What in the universe?
I'd be a better decision maker than Brett Favre.
That's true.
Too, I'd say
that was a great throw, without a doubt. But now we've gone too far. All right, I think we got to cut it off here, though, because we are ready to make a decision. Sean, did you like anybody today particularly?
The underrated mechanic, I think, is a really good one to have.
Yeah.
Really a lifesaver.
That was a great one.
Yeah, David and Lexington's answer of the mechanic for sure. I also like Gary and Newtown's of the snow day. And I mean, come on, how could I not take Joe of Columbus here, too? He just buttered me out.
Boy, this really worked today. I don't know. I'm flipping back and forth. I got two, so the snow day and the mechanic. Sean, you say mechanic, right?
Yeah.
Henry?
Between those two, I'd probably lean the mechanic, yeah.
All right, mechanic is in. That puts David of Lexington in. Let's have the review of the week.
Yes. So, Monday, we asked for something associated with South America. Greg in the Northeast, one with the Brazilian hair wax, of course. Tuesday,
unbelievable answer, yes.
Tuesday, we asked for something associated with Appalachia, however you want to say it. Newman and Price with the character of a hillbilly, we'll say, was his answer. Wednesday, we asked for that all-time power couple. Jay in the Northeast had Jane and Amal Clooney. Yesterday, we asked for that gamble. Joe and Exton, one with his answer of AI against the human race. And you heard it just now. Something that's underrated, David Lexington, having a good mechanic in your back pocket. So let's see. If we put all of these into the hat here, I got my die. We'll do a drum roll, get the die going. Oh, interesting. That is a number one. Greg in the Northeast is this week's winner with Brazilian hair wax.
I think it was the call of the week, too.
Yeah.
I got to say, that was unbelievable. All right, he gets a pair of tickets, reserved seats, to 1210 WPHT's Politics and Pints with Scott Jennings and me and Henry and Roe there, and hopefully you. To get your tickets, 1210WPHT.com. Don't forget the limited edition Talk Radio 1210 first time Christmas ornament, where we're talking with Walter Kosk about it yesterday. People love this stuff. Get that top tier. Get the meet and greet. You get the book, A Revolution of Common Sense. If you want mine with all the notes in it afterward, we may be able to do something there.
Dom Giordano annotated version?
The annotated. I'm going to put it up there for anybody to come out. And the signature of Scott Jennings. This guy's we got to talk about that big J that he's putting up.
We got to talk about the whole
there.
thing. That's three names there.
Yeah, it is. This is ridiculous, Scott. Come on now. You're going to Hollywood. That's an example of side question. How do you know you're going to Hollywood? All right.
They teach cursive in Kentucky.
Uh-oh. Shots fired. He doesn't like that Kentucky shot. Did he wear shoes in Kentucky, Scott? No, we're not going to say that. No, we didn't say that. All right. Go to 1210 WPHT. Get those tickets now. We will see you on Tuesday. We'll see you first on Monday. Rich Cioli is warming up. It's a big news day here. Rich Cioli show for 4 hours. Sean, thanks for producing, too. We'll see you hopefully next week. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
There's a reason the potato chip